My bad, bro. I was getting absolutely flattened by all these L hosts spam. My God. As you were saying,
after last Friday, can we please spam dub hosts just this one time?
please. One time in our life, in our history, the show. Speaking of Black Friday, Bob, were you tapped in?
Yeah, for pretty much. I was going in and out pretty much the whole time.
What'd you think?
I watched the full battles of a couple. I thought it was amazing. It was some of the dopest shit I've seen in a long time.
It was heat.
I'll tell you what I really think, JD, if you want to hear it.
I would love to hear it.
I think just on what I saw, what I think a lot of it had to do, like who won and who lost. A lot of it was based on topics, you know, because there were some things where I agreed with, like for instance, Rufus and Chill. The second one was the 01 Lakers versus the 96 Bulls, and both you can't change my mind. It's the 96 Bulls, and there's nothing you could tell me that to change my mind. So that was kind of like, it was kind of biased for me, I think. That was pretty obvious. I like Low and what was it? What's OG the General? That's his name.
OG the Beast.
OG the Beast. Yeah, I like that one a lot. Until OG, I was kind of with OG until he started saying that shit about defense as an add-on, and when he said that, I was like, nah, bro, I'm not fucking with you at all. And then shout out Shaq and Dale for getting cooked 2v1. Shout out Shaq and Dale for getting cooked 2v1.
Shaq trying to dogpile and 2v1 Ron was disgusting. That was fire.
To get on my staff. I had to do a double team how Steph do it.
Oh man, that was great. Shout out Mars. Shout out Dub. Shout outs. That's it.
Hey Mars.
I want to go to.
Yeah.
Do you really feel like you body flew in all 3 rounds, or do you feel like any round was questionable?
You mean Ticket?
Oh yeah.
I think I won. The consensus is Ticket at least should have won the first round, which I don't agree with. I watched it back, but I don't agree with.
Reviewing film, I like it.
So yeah, because everyone kept saying I lost, so I had to watch it back, but I don't agree with that. Then people said, the people who think I lost said I lost the Ben Wallace Draymond Green round as well, which makes no sense to me. But
I don't think you lost that round,
neither do
Mars. I just think it's just another one of those instances where I'm like, I got Ben Wallace, and it's kind of hard to change my mind,
That's
unfair.
That's why I said in the face off, I didn't think the chat voting was gonna, like, people were gonna complain regardless, because people in the chat, they're gonna have their biases, whether that's for me or against me, whether that's based on just they agree with. If they're like, for example, Chill and Elder Rufus, they were doing Kobe against, like, Kobe at 2 versus Kobe at 11. No matter what Chill says, no one's going to agree with Kobe at 11. So at that point, it's not about the arguments he makes, it's going to be who they agree with, which is why I'm not a huge fan of the chat voting in that situation, because you're just going to go with who you agree with instead of who makes the better arguments, which is like Ticket had Dominique Wilkins against KD. No matter what he said, he wasn't going to win that debate. It's impossible to win a Dominique versus KD debate.
Ticket wanted that though. He wanted that so bad.
I don't know why, but you can't, like, people are just gonna vote for who they agree with. They're just gonna vote who they agree with, or who they dislike.
I got Dominique in that. That's why it's like,
Are you talking about a 1v1 matchup?
Yeah.
Oh, then yeah, Dominique. I'm not gonna disagree on that.
You got Dominique over KD too?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
I mean, bro, Dominique's very slept on, for real.
Yeah, so put him against players in his own realm. Put him against Carmelo Anthony. Don't put him against Kevin Durant.
I don't know if KD's not in Carmelo's realm.
What's the difference between Carmelo and KD?
I really don't know.
Nothing. They're the same level. Nothing.
I'm saying though, if Carmelo would have ran and played for the Lakers, he'd have 2.
Okay.
He'd have 2, and then we'd be looking at Carmelo in a whole different light.
No, we wouldn't, Ron.
You would.
If Carmelo didn't go play for I don't know who was. If Carmelo didn't go play for the Spurs,
if Carmelo went to the Heat instead of forcing his way to the Knicks, I'd still look at him as the same Carmelo Anthony. You can look at him differently, but you value the rings very highly. I'd look at him as the same player.
Everybody would still think KD's better, mainly because of how easy flowing Kevin Durant is compared to a Carmelo Anthony.
Easy flowing.
Yeah, did I stutter?
He's just better than him.
Chat. That's why easy flowing.
Carmelo's more of a vacuum than Kevin Durant. That's a fact.
I can get with that.
Comparing Carmelo to a vacuum.
You also have to put an aspect that they're two different positions too, kind of.
How so?
Well, one's a small forward and one's a small forward, Ron.
Okay, but one like play like straight big body, if that makes sense. Like one. Okay,
who?
Dominique. Okay, because in that era, you have to play a lot stronger than you do now in today's era. I know you do.
Yeah, Dominique's stronger than KD.
No, a lot of people are stronger than KD, but I'm just saying, like, in today's era, it's not just as hard as it was back then, but it's softened up. Like, you don't have to be the strongest to be dominant, if that makes sense.
You didn't need to be the strongest back then either.
I mean,
the best players in the world were Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, Isaiah Thomas. None of them are leaping off in terms of strength or even athleticism at that point. Michael Jordan, he wasn't the strongest, especially in the 80s. None of them are strong guys. The strongest guys in the 80s are like the bruising big men who are lacking in the skill department. And you throw in like a Karl Malone, I guess. None of those guys are that strong. The 90s where the strength came in and Dominique was finished off. Well, not finished, but he was finished after like 93. So he didn't even play against the strong guys like that, in my opinion.
Yeah, trying to sneak in Dominique with KD is just...
I agree.
That's a losing argument. I don't know why Ticket even wanted that. No matter what he said, he was going to lose.
It's for sure a losing argument, but once again, and I'm not even going to... I don't even know if we should put Dominique in KD's realm, but Dominique is slept on as an all-time player.
Right.
I agree with that. I agree with that. I don't think people talk about him, but trying to throw him into a conversation that he doesn't deserve to be in.
I don't know if he doesn't. Now I'm looking at his numbers, and I'm like 30, like 27, 30, 29, 30, 26, 26, 25, 28, 29, 26, 28, 29. Dude was getting busy for a long time. 7 All-NBA teams.
Like you acting like Kevin Durant wasn't getting busy as well.
No, without a doubt.
It's not even close, especially when you look at just how efficient Kevin Durant is. On top of that, who was the better defender in y'all eyes, Kevin Durant or Dominique Wilkins?
I got KD, but I said on the show I'd accept they're equal at best. But I don't think there's an argument for Dominique to be a better defender than KD, to be honest.
So they're equal at best, and one guy's just clearly a better scorer. So it's like.
And KD's a better playmaker than Dominique Wilkins as well, like by far.
So JD, what was your favorite topic on Friday?
Favorite topic? I was multitasking in and out, so I don't remember all the topics, but I think my favorite debate in terms of like entertainment value, I would say the last one, Low and OG, the Beast, was probably my favorite. And I think there's a little bias in there because they got a little different format than everyone else. And that wasn't even intended. It just kind of happened and it created magic, in my opinion. So like the next time we do an event like that, I think we're going to have to dial in the approach, the way that we do the debates, because that was super entertaining to me, having them both just go the whole time, and they got like 20 minutes each round.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys watched the face-off, but they basically said that in the face-off to me. They were like, "Yo, Ron, we don't want to do none of that extra shit. We just want to basically roll the ball out and play ball." Yeah.
So
I was like, "All right, cool."
So here's the thing. If we would have done that for everyone and opened the floodgates for everyone, I think that they all would have had that potential of just being like insane matchups. Like they were all good. All the matchups were good. But, you know, when you put the constraints on everyone, they're going to be a little different. So
I like the constraints. I like the I like the back and forth and allowing people to talk. I thought it was great. Not a lot of people have respect of others to allow them to speak. So I don't know. Me personally, y'all already know I got robbed. It is what it is. I did learn. Everyone kept saying, "Oh, you could learn from this. You could learn from this." I did learn a valuable lesson, and that valuable lesson is almost like Kanye. The more and more outrageous that you make yourself out to be, the less and less when it is time that you actually speak some real shit, nobody would listen to you. So on my next character arc, I am going to change my whole persona because I can't allow somebody as bad as Fluent to win a debate against me again, especially at something as little as a sports debate, because that's just it's just ridiculous, the bias that was there. Fluent got caught in a lie, somehow got himself out of that. Showed how much
What was the lie he got caught in?
the Bradley Beal lie. The Bradley Beal lie. He blatantly lied about that. And there's a full clip about it too. You could go back and watch. It's on our old YouTube account. And then on top of that, just showing how much of a blatant hypocrite that he is. So I mean, it is what it is. It's fine. And the valuable lesson I did see from that episode was I just can't allow myself to be on these outrageous cliffs anymore because as you can see when I do say real shit, people are less reluctant to listen. So it is what it is.
You said that your next character arc. So we have the Doubleholics, we have the Debonaires. What is this new journey? What is this?
Well,
new
the Debonaires was coming. The Debonaires I wanted to come when Shaq was still on the show, right? But then when Shaq got busy with everything, I knew that I had to take a step up. So this one's just me now. Like it's just me.
What is it? Is it just Jay? Can I say
Like
it?
you can say it's just Jacob.
Oh, just Jacob? Okay.
Yeah, you gotta understand. I really don't. I'm really a person that really doesn't care about a lot of the shit that we talk about. I just have to say my points. I have to exaggerate a lot of the things that I talk about. But I'm gonna be honest. I really don't care, and this is just me now. So you guys are just gonna get me because I can't allow something like this to happen again. Fluent deserved to lose. Like he was so awful. The first round you could say that he won that. If I put that Bradley Beal clip in the first round, I would have won that because he showed how much he lied. But then the Hakeem Olajuwon debate, I think I won that. I rewatched it. 2000s, I won that. So it's like I don't. It is what it is. You feel me?
You definitely won that 2000s debate. Easy win that 2000s debate.
Easily.
A lot of it was the reason of a lot of times in the chat. It was like you could say one thing and everybody would just hang on to that and forget about everything else you said. They were losing it just because you said Jermaine O'Neal first in that vibe. If you would have started with KG, Shaq, Tim Duncan, that would have been all on you, bro.
I think it's better if you start with guys like Jermaine O'Neal, Chris Webber, those guys, and then you end it with Shaquille O'Neal, KG, and Duncan. Like that's crazy.
I started out with the above average guys on purpose so that I can end it off with the high caliber guys, which I did. But then for some reason, like nobody got drawn to that. The Hakeem Olajuwon debate as well. I brought up a lot of valid points, but the thing is that a lot of people love Kareem being over Hakeem Olajuwon. So, like you said, that's just a topic that just not in the chat's graces because of that. So.
And you called him a fraud, so everyone just hates you.
Exactly, and this goes to my point, of putting yourself on these cliffs, on purpose, and now not everybody taking you as serious as you should, especially when you bring valid points. So, it's a nice learning lesson for me. I like it. I am open-minded. I do learn from my mistakes, and you feel me?
Dub, is there any like? Between you and Fluent, is there any like similarity?
I don't like him.
I don't like him. I don't see you in Fluent, or you see Fluent in you at all?
I don't see me and Fluent at all. I don't see Dub and Fluent in me as well. I think the main thing about us is we look alike. Fluent's a hypocrite. He's a liar. He's a very good politician. Maybe I could learn that from him. That would be a good politician.
There we go.
And wait, let me finish. A lot of politicians are fake. So teaching myself how to be fake is something where I can learn from Floyd. So, and I would say this to his face as well.
We know, Dub. We know. Yeah, shout out to everybody who tapped in live to the Black Friday event. Shout out to everyone who tapped in after the event. It's at like 40,000 views on YouTube. There's like almost 700 comments on it. So there was a lot of
comments are golden. If you haven't looked, go and look through the comments and comment to somebody else's comment. But the comments were hilarious. Hey, Mars. Is low a problem?
It depends. I mean,
for anybody but you. Okay, I got it.
Well, I'm not just saying that.
Mars.
No, because I think he swept OG because OG was saying some nonsense. But I still think low, like against Chill, against Elder Rufus, because the chat seems to love Elder Rufus. Like those would be good debates because they come from like different perspectives. But I just think OG the Beast was just saying some crazy stuff.
Yeah, he cooked himself.
He could have attacked so many better arguments than the ones he was going for. Like Low doesn't have Larry Bird top 10. You attack that before you talk about Bill Russell never averaging 20 points. Like there's just so many ways he could have went about things, but he just went on a defense doesn't matter tangent and it lost it.
He wasn't necessarily trying to attack Low's arguments. He was more so trying to make his points.
Yeah, but when your point is defense is an add-on and offense is gonna great scoring is gonna outdo defense all the time. It's kind of hard to win everybody back.
I'm saying like, I'm not saying that to defend him. I'm saying that to say he should have came on this show and did that. He should have came on the panel and did that. In a one-on-one debate, you have to go against what the other person's giving you. You know, if like how you said, if he's saying Larry Bird's not top 10, you got to cook him on Larry Bird being top 10. Like how I showed you guys how to cook with Larry Bird.
You were saying some nonsense as well. You said Ben Simmons was a Hall of Famer.
Yo,
you said Andre Iguodala was.
Yeah, you said Andre Iguodala. You said
Andre Iguodala is a Hall of Famer, bro.
You almost blew a 3-1 lead because.
Hold on, no.
Andre Iguodala might be first ballot.
Yo, this is what I'm trying to say. I cooked Dale that whole battle, and you guys took one little thing, and tried to say I lost the battle because I said Ben Simmons is a Hall of Famer.
No, I can say you won because Dell didn't make any arguments. Dell was just asking you questions and then you didn't answer, so it was kind of hard for him to make points.
You
were just saying
no
some nonsense. Yeah, you were just saying nonsense.
But you almost blew a 3-1
I was saying nonsense, so I said one thing that you didn't disagree with.
When you go down a whole Hall of Fame player tangent and you try to put James Harden twice. Ben Simmons, Demarcus Cousins, and Andre Iguodala. That's kind of crazy.
He asked me who was the Hall of Famers that he played with. He played.
You can't use James Harden twice. That doesn't make sense.
He played with James Harden twice.
Six man of the year. Six man. James Harden is not a Hall of Famer.
He asked how many Hall of Famers did he play with?
He played with James Harden.
Is James Harden in the Hall of Fame? Will he be in the Hall of Fame?
Is he going to be in there twice?
He played with James Harden twice.
Maybe
on 2 different teams.
Okay, but
skinny James Harden and fat James Harden.
He played with James Harden.
Is he going to be in the Hall of Fame twice?
LeBron James played with Dwayne Wade twice. So he played. That's 2 Hall of Famers for LeBron James, right?
What do you mean he played with him twice?
Cavaliers and Miami.
So that's twice he had a Hall of Famer.
He played with him twice. on 2 different occasions.
So when we're tracking the Hall of Famers, right? Say Kyrie Irving, Chris Bosh, Dwayne Wade, Anthony Davis. Then you're gonna say Dwayne Wade again.
Yo, if KD goes back to the Warriors
and Ray Allen,
if KD goes back to the Warriors, he played with Steph Curry twice.
But that's not 2 different Hall of Famers.
Yo,
that's
Ron,
it's not 2 different Hall of Famers.
You tried to count it as 2 different Hall of Famers.
No, I'm saying he played with him twice. I was more so adding the fact that he played with this dude twice.
So if you play with a rookie version of someone. When they're clearly not in their prime and you play them again in their prime, that's not
Raja. Wait. Was the 2020 Lakers a super team?
I don't think so.
Why not? They have 4 Hall of Famers.
I think they were a good team. I don't think they were a super team.
But they have 4 Hall of Famers.
Okay, and just during the stage of their career,
that's exactly what we're saying.
But hold on, no. James Harden in OKC was cold though, and nobody's gonna argue that.
Nobody's gonna say he was a very good player.
He
wasn't a Hall of Fame player. He was a very good player.
I mean, he wasn't, but he ended up becoming one. But that's neither here nor there. The point I'm trying to make is he played with him twice. But to bring everything back around,
Disgusting.
Andre Iguodala is a Hall of Famer, and it's no doubt about that. Why is he not, Dub?
I think Dell made a very valid point. If Chauncey Billups isn't a Hall of Famer yet, I don't think Andrew Iguodala.
Chauncey Billups will be a Hall of Famer, no doubt.
You said Andre Iguodala might be first ballot.
Who, me?
He might be. He could be.
How?
It depends. It depends on who all he's going with.
This is I don't like the Hall of Fame argument anyway because
well, I
just
mean,
say
we're having it though.
Yeah, I don't get why it was even brought up because someone could be in the Hall of Fame and just be way past their prime, and then you say they played with a Hall of Famer. Like,
he brought it up. He asked me. He was the one asking me, and I answered the question. Hey, you guys get mad at me for not answering the question, so then I started answering.
Iggy first ballot is.
But why would it be?
If I said Iggy's first ballot, I don't remember saying that.
Hold on.
If I said Iggy's first
No,
ballot,
Bobby, not you. Bobby said it.
I
Bobby
want
just
to
said it.
hear Bobby. I need to hear the explanation. Sell me on Andre Iguodala first ballot Hall of Fame.
It's simple as that. It's gonna be a lot of It just depends, bro. It just depends on who's in his class, you know. And I don't know who's gonna be in his class. What you have to wait? It has to be 5 years after retire or what? How many?
He's about to retire this year.
Okay, so who's gonna be in his class then? Like who else is left? Okay, Chauncey still, but that's still gonna be 5 years. Chauncey's gonna be in there 5 years from now. So I don't know who his competition is gonna be because I don't know who's gonna make it in the next 5 or 6 years. But I think Iggy, you know, it's a slight chance, but I'm just saying it could happen. He's definitely a Hall of Famer. I know that. I know he's definitely going. I don't know how long it's gonna take.
I'm naming off
crazy.
some. I'm just naming off some names here of people who didn't reach the Hall of Fame yet. So like this isn't like just don't. This is just names. Paul Pierce, Sean Marion, Chauncey Billups.
Time out. Andre Iguodala had a better career than Sean Marion. We're not gonna do that.
Paul Pierce is about to be in the Hall of Fame. He just hasn't hit the 5-year threshold.
Yeah.
Larry Nance, Elton Brand, Terry Porter,
Elton Brand should be in there soon too.
Horace Grant, Buck Williams, and that's just a few names that I just read off. There's some more I think.
Yeah. Well, I mean, all those guys, except with the exception of maybe one or two, Andre Iguodala is in their class of players. So
is he getting in strictly on the Finals MVP?
That helps.
That definitely helps in Hall of Fame arguments. Now, look, I don't make the Hall of Fame. There's some cats that I wouldn't put in the Hall of Fame. There's some cats that I think should have been in there a long time ago. But for what the people care about, Andre Iguodala got what, 4 rings? He's going to the Hall of Fame, bro. Like it doesn't matter. And one of them was the Finals MVP. He helped a lot in most of them. The last one, you know, so. But Andre Iguodala was an intricate part of a dynasty. Like he's going to the Hall of Fame no matter what you guys think of him.
And on top of that, he had a good career even before that.
I'm not saying
he was getting down.
Yeah, and once again, I don't send people to the Hall of Fame. I just know that the criteria, he fits the criteria easy. Like,
Rip Hamilton. Is he over Rip Hamilton?
No.
I think no. I got Rip.
I'm looking at 50 greatest players who aren't in the Basketball Hall of Fame. When was this article made? A year ago. So
well, Rip will go, but he can't. He's not going to go before Chauncey. I don't think because Chauncey got that Finals MVP.
Not Chauncey. We're talking about Iggy.
No. I'm talking about Rip.
I'll put Iggy over Rip.
I got Rip over Iggy, but then again, it's the accolades. He got 4 rings. He got a Finals MVP. So it's not. And it's like once again, we know how it works though. We all know that's how basketball works, bro. Like I once again, I don't make the criteria, but he fits the criteria.
Darren Williams. You think he should go over Darren Williams?
Yeah. Yes.
Oh man, I don't know. Rasheed Wallace.
No,
hell no.
He's not better than Sheed. That's 100 blocks, 100 threes.
You're arguing who's a better player.
Yeah, you're arguing who's a better player, right?
Which should be relevant when we're talking about the quality of KD's teammates instead of just how much they achieved in their careers. But in the Hall of Fame,
Hall of Fame.
If you're more accomplished, you're probably gonna make it.
And that was a good argument.
Amari Stoudemire.
Amari, I got Amari. But Amari don't got no rings, no Finals MVPs.
I think the NBA does look at better players sometimes as well. I don't think they just hold on to rings. Because when Ron, let's not forget.
In what case?
Let's. I was gonna bring it up. Let's not forget. Last year you got made fun of for bubble ring Damian Lillard being over Kyrie Irving for the Hall of Fame, and look what happened in the top 75 list. Damian Lillard was in there and Kyrie Irving was not. So they're paying attention to the better player argument as well. They
That's
Should
not Hall
either
of
one
Fame, though. That's not
either
Hall of
one of
Fame.
them. Should either one of them been on that list?
That's the NBA media voting on the top 75. They're having Damian Lillard over Kyrie
Yeah, but
Irving.
you said sometimes in the Hall of Fame they look at better players over more accomplished players. So I was asking
Yes.
for examples.
That's an example.
Not the top 75, the Hall of Fame. Hall of Fame.
The way that they judge that top 75 list is very similar to how they judge a Hall of Fame. So if Damian Lillard and Kyrie Irving retire at the same time, I'm pretty sure that they would have Damian Lillard over Kyrie Irving.
They'd both be first ballot.
Who's had a better career between AD and Dwight?
Dwight.
Who should have been on that top 75? So
Dwight.
that alone lets you know that shit is rigged, bro. It's not about any of that. It's just about
it's about perception. Yeah,
who's more marketable, who's more of a it's all of that, bro. Dwight clearly should have been on our list over Anthony Davis, and I don't think any of us would debate otherwise. So we know that it's not all about who's better.
Z-Dub sent a super chat, said, Iggy has the weakest finals MVP I've ever witnessed. Can we acknowledge Steph was robbed? Dub, I'm looking at you to be objective here.
Yes,
Jacob. It's Jacob today. It's Jacob today. Steph was robbed. Even though Iggy did play good defense, when you look at like the stats where Iggy was guarding LeBron James, he did do a very good job. But in my opinion, Steph was always going to be the more impactful player. I think the thing that really lost him the Finals MVP was the fact that everyone was like, "Oh, Matthew Dellavedova was showing up Stephen Curry," so it kind of killed his argument because of like that one game. But Steph was definitely robbed because when you look at everything besides that one game, he was fine. He played great.
Didn't he have 2 bad games?
He had like 1.5 at best.
Like he sent Matthew Dellavedova to the fucking hospital, bro. Like that's so deep.
Because I ain't talking yet.
All right, let's get into
you know what's funny about Friday too that we haven't talked about is Ron Harvey. When he see what Ron did? Ron put the Steve Harvey on chill.
what did you do?
Yo,
I
felt so bad about that.
What did you do?
Remember when I came up and said Elder won?
And Elder was basically
yeah.
he was basically giving his victory speech, and then Ron jumped back in and said, "Wait, upon second."
I forgot about that. That was
the
actually
chat was
crazy.
losing it. No, Ron, chill one. Ron's selling. Ron's lying. Chill one. I was like, fuck, I gotta get back in here.
That was crazy. He just comes back up after he's done giving his speech. Yeah, that was nuts. Anyway,
I had to text Elder on the side.
That's my bad, bro. It was funny though. It was funny. Shout out to everybody tapped in live right now. There's 320 of y'all. Make sure you pay the entry fee. That is liking the video, subscribe to the channel if you are not subscribed. If you haven't paid the entry fee, see your way out. Otherwise, I'm gonna boot you out. Ron, you gonna boot him out with me?
Hey, I got my big boots on today. I got my Timbs on today.
Big boots. Yo, shout out to LUCRA. LUCRA's sponsoring today's show. If you haven't checked them out yet, make sure that you click that link. It's pinned at the top of the chat. It is also in the description below. Make sure you go check out LUCRA. Shout out to everyone who tapped in on Black Friday, man. It was dope.
Ron, what's the word of the day, man? What's the wager of the day, man?
Hold on. We have to recap what happened for last wager of the week. So we had, as you guys know, if you were tapped in last week, we had Lauri Markkanen versus Devin Booker points. This was a rematch from, I want to say, almost a week ago, or maybe it was a week ago. Jazz versus Suns. Lauri and Booker put up good performances the last matchup. And then Lauri decides to have a little bit of a quiet night last night. So we took the fat L over here against Skababble, as Dell will call him, Scabaldi. Devin Booker, 27 points. Lauri Markkanen, 15 points. If you were rocking with us and you made this wager against any of your friends, hey, that's on us. We'll take that L with you. Congrats to Scabaldi and everyone else who took Booker.
Yo,
shout out to Scabaldi.
I got mangled on that bet.
That was crazy.
Yo, I lost like 10 different bets on that.
That was crazy.
Got mangled. I'm like, Lori, come on.
Lori
You
was
go off last week, and then this week you just
sleeping.
You just
And he
pull a
still had a
no-show?
double, but it was pretty quiet. He
Shoulda
didn't
did
do anything in the
rebounds.
first half. Nothing in the
Should've
first
for
half.
Sure did rebound.
Rebounds. That's fire. Anyone taking Booker on the rebounds is crazy.
It's a good topic.
Jeez, I was almost about to get into this game. I should probably introduce our guest. It's been 30 minutes. We haven't even introduced our guest. This is Justice, ladies and gentlemen. Justice, how are
What's
you?
going on? Good. How about yourself?
I'm doing well. Have you been tapped into Player's Choice for a minute or what?
Yeah, I have.
How long?
I said like 4 or 5 months. I'd be like seeing it,
Justice.
On where?
like TikTok and stuff.
Okay, so do you ever watch the full shows?
I haven't watched the full show yet. No.
Damn, you could've
so
at
you
least
don't
lied.
really know what's going on.
No,
up
you're
here.
good. You're
Okay,
good.
all
No,
right,
no,
all
no.
right.
Let's Justice is fun. I was the same way when I came on the show, bro.
Yo,
He
Justin,
said it. What's going on?
is our TikTok masterful?
Okay,
Is it nastyful?
that doesn't make sense, but there's some nonsense, but there's some like good like points in it. Like with OG, I don't remember his name, and then
Oh,
Shaq.
you talk about chill?
Yeah, chill. I forgot his name last night. Like I don't know. I just because I think he's older. He sees the game like back in Jordan's era, and then let's bring up Shaq. Shaq is probably one of the worst like topics ever, if that makes sense. Like if you guys give him a topic, Shaq. I don't know how to
Talk
describe it.
about Shaquille O'Neal. You talking about our Shaq?
You're Shaq. You're Shaq.
Oh shit. Okay. Go ahead.
Yeah.
I'm here for this. If
Okay.
you give him a topic, what?
I don't know. He just doesn't have like good pointers or something. I can't remember what video it was. I was watching it, and then you guys were just like roasting him or something for what you guys said or something. I don't know. I'd have to find the video.
He
Have
probably said
it.
some dumb shit like Ben Simmons is a Hall of Famer or something like that. And then we all cooked him and then got on with our everyday lives. But how do you feel about Mars or Dub on TikTok? Matter of fact, who's the worst up here?
Yeah,
Like,
I'm here for this.
out of the people right here right now.
Yeah,
or
Bobby's
in
just now getting
general?
his feet wet on TikTok too.
Up here.
I
I'm
don't
just
know.
trying to start up some beef, like for real.
Why not? What's wrong
Why
with it?
not?
Dub, are you like all of a sudden are you put your weapons down? Has
Ron-
Floyd made you a peaceful man?
Oh, no, Floyd did not make me.
See,
no
I
peaceful
haven't
man.
seen the topics with
I'm
Bobby. yet.
actually
That's the
I'm always a
thing
peaceful man, Ron.
on what y'all talk with Bobby.
You said
But
what?
if I had to say it, Bobby, because I have not seen his topics yet.
That's a great. That's a
That's crazy.
great cop out. That's a great cop out.
You don't know
Mars,
about the big ox?
Mars, you was going to be on it, but I have to say Bobby.
Oh, so it's
You could have
Mars.
said
Okay,
me.
so
You've
in
actually
reality,
seen my
it's Mars.
taste.
No, I
Makes
wasn't.
sense.
Okay, but like, I haven't seen Bobby's. Once I see Bobby's, then like,
Okay, so the people you saw, mine were the worst.
yeah.
So do you think it's light work up here then? You're about to take over?
I want to say take over. I'm just going to give some good takes, I'd say.
I love the
All right,
confidence.
we'll let the chat.
I love it. I love the confidence, man. I do love it. Appreciate it, bro. Ron, get your head out your ass, bro.
He said,
Yeah, bro.
why?
Why?
Don't mention that ugly man to me ever
Okay,
again.
I got you. I got
Jesus
you.
Brad.
Christ.
All right, since it was the LUCRA wager of the week, I want to talk about it first. Let's talk about the Jazz Suns game. Suns edge out the Jazz by 1 in the 113-112 victory. Lauri Markkanen, as we already talked about, 15-10, very quiet, didn't do anything in the first half. Colin Sexton, though, did you guys actually watch this game? I actually watched the entire game.
I watched a
And
little bit.
Colin Sexton was taking over for the Jazz. He looked good. He put up 20, but he was just playing aggressive while also under control. It didn't look chaotic, really. And sometimes Colin Sexton looks a little bit chaotic. And then, of course, Deandre Ayton putting up monster numbers, 29 points, 21 boards, becomes the first player with a 28-20 game since Amari Stoudemire.
Damn, that's
And then, of
wild.
course, Devin Booker adding in the 27 points. But Mars, talk to me about this Jazz Suns game.
I didn't watch it, but I do want to say a 28 and 20 game is like the most random numbers I've ever seen. Why 20? Why 28 and 20? Like,
Bro, it's fun to say these, but you know why they make these. They need some kind of storyline. Someone's got to be the first player since or second player ever to do something. So you gotta do something with
that's
it.
why I hate those random stats. Like, no one cares about 28 and 20. If he had 27 or 26 or 24, like, the game would have still been great, I'm assuming. But from what I know about the Jazz, I'm still not on them to make the playoffs. They're gonna end up trading everyone, but they do play good basketball. So I will say, watching them, when I do watch them, they're enjoyable to watch, but they're still meant to be tanking. So, and the Phoenix Suns are being disrespected because they choked in the playoffs, but they're still a good team.
I have a question since Deandre Ayton did play the way that he played last night. Where amongst big men, so we can count power forwards, centers in this sense, we usually say the NBA is positionless. In terms of big men in the NBA right now, where's Deandre Ayton for you, Mars?
Do we count Kevin Durant as a big man?
Nah, he's small forward. I'm talking about like in the sense of what we would typically describe as power forward center.
Giannis, Jokic, AD, Embiid, Kat,
Bam.
Rudy, Bam.
That Ayton right there.
Yeah, I'd say Ayton's around Sabonis. Sabonis is better than Ayton.
9.
Wow. Why do you think that?
I just think he's an overall better offensive player. I think they're about equal in the post. Sabonis is a much better passer to me. And defensively, you can say Ayton's a better defender, which is fine. I just prefer Sabonis' overall offensive game. So I'd say around there, and then he's like in the conversation with like Jarrett Allen, Jonas Valanciunas. Oh, Pascal Siakam's better than DeAndre Ayton.
Yo, it's really some good big men in the league that get slept on.
True.
I don't think we give enough love to like the power forwards and the centers. Like, yeah, they're not Tim Duncans and Kevin Garnett's and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's, but like they're still solid though. That whole list that you just named off, Mars, are all like very good players.
Well, everyone's a good player in the league.
Yeah, James Wiseman's in the G League now, so yeah.
But it's true. Like, some players could have an off night, and then some players can just go off randomly on a night that they're playing against a team.
Well, yeah, everyone's good. They're all better than us. We know that. But compared to other NBA players, some of them are trash. That's what you talk about. DeAndre Ayton is better than 99.9% of the world. But when we compare him to the NBA and big men, he's at top 10%. So once you lower the talent pool, his percentile lowers. That's what we're saying. We're not going to be like, you know what, I'll cook DeAndre Ayton. Like, of course not. But
I don't know, Mars. I feel like you might.
Other NBA players, I mean, yeah, of course I would, but like for most people, they wouldn't.
I'm high on DeAndre Ayton though.
Ron, speaking of just overlooked bigs, you know who I really like, who doesn't really get talked about because he doesn't do anything flashy or crazy. He just plays his role, and this is why he stayed in the NBA for so long, even though he has like no offensive game other than setting screens. Can you guess who I'm going to talk about right now?
Does he have a brother in the NBA?
No, but he looks like a Marvel character.
He only sets screens?
Basically, and grabs rebounds.
No defense.
Oh, you talk about Steven Adams?
Hey, Steve, yes, the strongest man. That's the real big off.
Hey, bro, no. Steven Adams is a really good basketball player.
I love Steven Adams.
He might not be a really good scorer. He might not be good, like, with anytime he has the ball in his hands, he might not be the best player, but with what he does outside of that,
yes,
he's amazing.
Yes,
he's a very good passer as well.
He's severely underrated because the NBA is a league where, I mean, the marketability comes in like the flashiness and the scoring aspect, and that's why most players get praised for their offensive ability, their ability to score the basketball. I mean, I get it, I understand it. That's the point of the game, right? Putting the ball through the hoop. But when you're looking at guys who you want on your team in those those just like do it all guys, like the guys who get no glory. That's like, all right, whatever you guys need. I don't need to be this guy. I don't need to be the superstar. I'll literally fill in the gaps. And Steven Adams is like the one of the best at that, playing his role. And he's hilarious also.
But Steven Adams, he got good hands, and if he gets you on his back on the block, he's got an efficient drop step, efficient jump hook. He can do some work on the block.
I don't care who you are. I don't think that anyone wants to go up against Steven Adams because he's just obnoxious, bro. Like,
that's gonna be a
forget
long
when
game.
You have the rock. When the ball goes up, even when they're not shooting it, like any big man that he's guarding, anytime the ball goes up, Steven Adams is putting his knee in your back. He's moving you to get that rebound. It's just, he's obnoxious.
Yeah, call me Montana. About time, Montana. We talk some role players.
We always talk role play. We just want Andre Iguodala being in the Hall of Fame.
But this is the only reason I brought up Steven Adams for you, Bob.
The issue is Steven Adams can't make free throws this year. That's a major problem, especially come playoff time. Because I don't know how much he's going to be able to play. He's shooting like 30% from the line, which is terrible. Nicholas Claxton type.
We want to talk about role players, man. Brook Lopez looking like the Splash Mountain again, man.
Brook Lopez, Defensive Player of the Year, Dub.
What? Don't do
No
that
way,
shit.
Defensive Player of the Year,
Don't
bro.
do that shit, bro. But I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little bit
Brook
surprised.
Lopez go crazy on defense, though.
Yeah,
but
he's good.
This play isn't sustained. He's not about to shoot 40% from free for a whole year.
I'm talking about
If he does, he's going above Deandre Ayton, but he's not going to.
So this was the thing, right? Last year he kind of like slowed down a bit, so I thought that the age was gonna start.
Hey,
getting to him.
whose phone's going crazy?
It's my word. I bet.
I got him.
Thank you.
What's it called? Yeah, this is the last year. Like Brook Lopez had like somewhat of a little bit of a down year, so I thought like this year he was gonna regress even further. But it's like this year he just took a fucking step up, and I'm just sitting here like, wow, like he's playing great. 40% from three is wild. Like that is ridiculous. Good defense. Splash Mountain's back. Man, you love to see it, bro.
I mean, Brook Lopez has showed us he can shoot, though. We've seen it multiple times over the last couple of years.
Never like this.
Was he not? Like, it was, what was it, 2 years in the playoffs where Brook Lopez was going crazy?
3 years ago, the Splash Mountain came into effect, but he was never shooting like this. Mars is right. Like, he's like, I think the over-under right now is like 3 threes for him. That's insane for Brook Lopez.
3 threes a game?
3 threes a game, yes.
Like that he's putting up or that he's making?
No, the over and under for like, the over and under is if he can make 3 threes or not.
Oh, damn.
It's that high.
Okay.
So
I got it. I got Brook Lopez over Steph Curry. How about that?
Oh my.
If
Dub.
you want to send a LUCRA wager through right now, I got Brook Lopez. I'll do you guys this one favor. Hello, Kai. I got Brook Lopez. You can take Steph Curry. I got Brook Lopez.
That's heat, Ron.
Starts off with the ball.
For frees today.
For threes today.
I'm down.
Yeah, Steph's playing the Timberwolves. You don't want to do that. You don't want to do that today.
Don't send the wager anything over $10. Make it. It got to be $10 and less, which means you can do $9. $10 and less.
Send it to me. I'll do that.
Ron, I'm here for it because
I like that bet for you, Ron.
Because Curry could go cold. And also, it is against the Wolves, like you say, Mars, and maybe they're just like, maybe he comes out, misses his first 3-4 shots, and then they get later into the game and like, we really should sit Steph because they're up 20.
Against Rudy Gobert's drop coverage or Karl Anthony Towns picking.
I'm not gonna hold you.
I'm not betting against.
Sometimes it's easier to shoot when someone's guarding you.
Ron, I will make it favorable for you. Give me Klay Thompson.
You want
I like that one too.
Shit, that's a good one.
That one's actually a lot closer, Ron.
Yeah, that one.
If y'all want Klay, look, don't even go on LUCRA and have to do that. Just cash at me the money. we can forego that. My cash app is Cash Daniels now. And then when you put a tag under it or when you put a message with it, just say Splash Mountain, baby.
Lopez.
I wouldn't take that Klay bet.
Lopez over Klay. I like that. Dub. Brook Lopez is firing 6 threes a game.
I know, bro.
That is bananas. Bro, I'm here for that. And he's cashing in almost 2.5 of them. Call it 2 a game. 2 for 6. So what is that? 33%?
Yeah, 33.
You just minimized this whole game. He's shooting 40%, and you just made him shoot 33.
40. My bad.
Listen, bro, I'm gonna get that money from you, Ron. I just put this SGP, get some 2K real quick. I need the money, man. I need the money. Let's get it.
All right, there you go, chat.
I got the Wolves beating the Warriors tonight though.
Send Clay versus Brook
He's on the
threes.
roads.
You got the Bulls beating the. I'm not gonna lie. Looking at that game, I was kind of like, I feel like tonight might be like a crazy upset game between the Timberwolves and Warriors. Just how the NBA goes. The Warriors played last night, right?
Yes. No. Sorry. Friday. They played Friday. They won against the Jazz. I think they're like 4-5 in their last.
And they had to travel.
Four.
They had to travel all the way to the Timberwolves.
Yeah, Warriors
right?
are on the road, so Timberwolves might win.
They might win. They might win. It might be an upset game, and the team could be a little iffy shooting the ball.
Ron, it's that app that you guys show me. It's whoever drops the most points, right?
Yeah,
When
but
when
you
you
could do
said
points.
Gordon-
You can do points. You can do rebounds. You can do assists. You can do sometimes you can do shot attempts. You can do a bunch of stuff.
Damn, bro. I wish
Okay.
I wish I would have known that road thing before I did this SGP.
And by the way, on our Players Choice Gridiron show, we have a wager of the week as well. Just thought I'd extend the offer out to you guys. It's Derek Carr versus Lamar Jackson. Once again, I got Derek Carr just because he is a better player. He is a better quarterback. And that's just that. So if you want to send something regarding Lamar Jackson and lose your money on that end too, send it through.
Since we were talking about the Golden State Warriors Jazz, so that win put them back to 500. Like I said, winning 4 out of their last 5. And Curry is cooking. Like this is the reason why that Brook Lopez Curry one would have been a little bit outrageous if it was straight up, because Curry has been playing like MVP type levels. So
Listen, when you making wagers, especially for teams, well, a thing that I pay attention to a lot is traveling on the road. They were in Utah, so now they're traveling all the way to Minnesota in 2 days. They could be a little rusty tonight. I'm not gonna hold you.
for sure. And this is why the Brook versus Clay could be good, because Clay, I mean, granted, he's amazing, great 3-point shooter, one of the best in the NBA. But to Dub's point, traveling.
They had a whole day off. They flew to Minnesota the night of the game. They rested the whole day. The flight's not that far.
The Warriors are 1-9 on the roads. Like it's not even crazy to bet against them when they're on the roads, unless you think they'll turn it around. But they're 1-9.
Exactly. Well, hopefully, I got faith in the Warriors, especially on that trash defense like the Wolves.
They're not trash.
Gabe
got Minnesota. I'm trying to tell you, Minnesota gonna be all right.
Speaking of Klay Thompson, Gabe sent a super chat and reminded us that Clay saw that open gym show because he's been cooking ever since that episode. And yes he has. Oh, I saw something recently about Ja Morant saying Ben Simmons and Clay, they've been eaten, and nobody has been saying anything. And this is why I want to make this point, because we, the media, ourselves, we play into this as well. When people are playing poorly, not to their level, we are loud about it and we critique them. They deserve their flowers, so we should give it to them. Klay Thompson has been playing well. Ben Simmons has been playing well.
Why should they deserve their flowers if they're
playing well? If they're
who said that, JD?
Ja Morant said it. Ja Morant said it.
Playing the way we expected them to play. Like we expected Clay and Ben Simmons to play like this. So the reason why we was all iffy about it was because they weren't playing to what we expected. Now they're doing what they're expected to do. So why would we praise them for doing everything that we thought that they were capable of?
See, Dub, that's what we'll be talking about. That's immaturity, Dub. You know, sorry goes a long way. Making amends for the things that you said about somebody, like, it just goes a long way. You know, if you man enough to tell somebody you're playing like ass, you also got to be man enough to say, Bobby, you know what, man, I'm happy that you turned it around. Good job,
Bobby. If when I used to play in high school and wrestling like ass, right? I would say, and people used to criticize me about it. I didn't get mad because I knew what was expected of me. Then when I actually started playing and wrestling like myself, I didn't need an extra praise for it because I knew that this was expected of me.
Well, that's
so I'm not gonna be mad. I'm not gonna be mad at people being mad at me for not living up to my potential. And then
Well,
expect
a
praise.
lot of these
Then
guys aren't as
expect,
tough as you, Dub. A lot of these guys are soft. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like they be in their feelings. You know, they be all in their emotions. Like, oh,
I
the
don't.
media is talking about me, even though that's the media's job. They're like, they hate it. So it's, you know, and also it's just a good way to, you know, build friendships amongst the players and whatnot.
I don't
And I'm talking
see.
when I said I'm talking more like with like guys like Stephen A. You know, it's good, especially guys like Stephen A, Shaq, and Charles Barkley. It's like when you say all that shit about somebody, especially as far as Shaq and Charles be going, bro, you gotta praise them when they're doing good, because it just looks like hater shit, honestly.
I get what you're saying. Where I'm not the whole praise. I'm getting caught up with the praise thing. Is like I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh, Klay Thompson, you know, I'm so happy for you. Da 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 da. You're playing great. Like the whole Brook Lopez thing. I gave my flowers. Klay Thompson, Brook Lopez, they all show into what their potential are. But I'm not gonna sit here and just go out my way to praise these guys for it, because it's like I expected you guys to do that.
We gave
You know?
KD praise when he came off his Achilles tear and
But that's a
was playing how you would expect him to play previous to that.
But that was
Yeah,
a
bro,
that was a career-ending injury. That's an injury
Klay
that not a
Thompson
lot
had the
of
Klay
same
Thompson
injury.
tore
I think
his
that's the point
Achilles.
being made.
Mhm.
It also didn't
He's
take
out for 3
KD.
seasons.
It didn't take KD a whole season to start playing like himself. But Klay Thompson's been good the last 4 games. I think everyone agrees with that. I heard.
Yeah, no.
Listen, I'm not gonna hold you. I was a guy that was shooting Klay some bail, but fucking, I just don't like this whole praising shit. I just don't like it. I think that's weird to me.
It's
Dub, I
not
got a
even
question.
So the
necessarily
media
praise.
is only here to talk about bad stuff. We're only here to talk about players doing bad.
I guess this is my
The media
mentality.
wouldn't exist if all they did was spew
Yeah.
positivity. They
Yeah.
just wouldn't. No
Yeah.
one would watch them if they were like, "Oh, this guy's really good." Oh,
I
Yeah, but I'm
guess
saying, that's what I'm saying. Keep a healthy balance. Maybe
I don't
maybe
know. They do that
60-40.
with
Maybe
Michael
60-40.
Jordan.
people feed off negativity, and that's
I'm
what the
not.
media
Yeah.
promotes.
I'm not gonna hold you like I'm just one of those people that like criticism. I just do. I enjoy it. I like criticism. I like
That's demon
negativity.
shit, dog.
I just like it.
Hey.
I just like it being spoken to me. So it's like this whole like criticism shit is like it's just not something that clicks with me, bro. Like this is why I like the comments. This is why I like pissing people off. Like even the comments right now, bro. It's like I like people criticizing me. I like people hating me. So it's like
Dub,
like,
I
what
got
the
a
fuck?
question.
What's up?
So when you say you were playing high school basketball, and you were
Wrestling.
oh, never mind. I just changed my whole thing.
Nah, but you could continue because I could compare. But go ahead.
Because I was gonna say, what was your role then if you say you were getting criticized on something that you did bad?
So there was times where wrestling is we did a lot of cutting weight, right? There were
Yeah.
times where I was irresponsible with my weight, and the morning of I had to shred the weight in the morning. And then when I used to wrestle in the matches that I was supposed to do, I was getting gassed, I was getting tired, and I was not the full capabilities of myself. And I'll be criticized for it. Instead of putting the excuse out there saying that, you know what, this guy won mainly because I was gassed, I said, nah, screw that. I got to be better. I got to take responsibility and accountability of being prepared for the match. And I got to make sure I was prepared to be able to wrestle against the guy in front of me. I didn't sit here and just go with, oh, he beat me just because I was gassed. I hated that argument. I thought it was a lazy argument to have. You see what I'm saying?
How does that work, Dub? Like when you said that you were irresponsible with your weight, is that like eating something you're not supposed to eat, or is it like not getting a certain amount of cardio in, or what is like how does that work?
Eating what you're not supposed to eat. On top of that, maybe not doing the extra cardio you should be doing, but
Yeah.
eating is actually the biggest part of it. Your weight changes and fluctuates so fast, especially when like I was 150, 160. I was cutting all the way down to 132, 138. As soon as you eat something that's hefty, your weight's gonna just skyrocket upwards because it's gonna try to jump back to your normal weight, which is why diet's very important.
People in the comments are saying that it's an individual sport, but it all actually adds up because it's about wins and seeing how many of your teammates can win so you can move on to the section championship or whatever, move up in the ranks and stuff. It's not just because like if let's just say if just Dub won one out of his wrestling teammates and whatever, they ain't moving on now that all his teammates lost.
Yeah. There's been plenty of instances where there was great wrestlers on trash teams, and nobody looked at them differently because the teams were just fucking trash. And that's why we had a lot of individual tournaments, and the biggest tournaments was states. And you wrestling all the way up to states is really what brought glory to yourself. The team sport was a part of it. Me and my team broke our school record. And then we made it like the furthest in our sectionals, but you know, it always ends with the state tournaments, individual tournament.
Yeah.
Y'all hear that? So don't get the fucking with Dub if you see him on the streets. He will take your ass down.
All right, we could skip over this one. Raptors, Mavericks, Toronto wins 105-100, whatever. Fred VanVleet, 26, OG, whatever. Yeah, okay, cool. Congrats. Lakers, Spurs. Oh, my God. 143, 130. No, Bob, we don't have to talk about it. It's all right. It's cool. What were you going to say?
I was just going to say, like, it's crazy. Speaking of the media, how the Mavericks get their ass kicked. And instead of making it about the Raptors, they still making it all about Luka.
Oh, of course. I get that.
Oh, Luka played?
Yeah.
Oh.
No, Fred VanVleet played.
I didn't
Actually,
see it.
Luka,
no way in this
Luka,
universe Luka plays and they lose to the Rafters.
Luka won me some money on LUCRA, actually.
Yo, Rafters is hilarious, Rob.
Fuck you.
What was the post about the Raptors and Mavs?
Bro, they only lost by 5, bozo.
That doesn't mean they didn't lose.
A loss is a
Yeah,
loss.
but Ron said they kicked their ass.
50, same shit.
Nah, listen, they
lost, you
kicked
lost.
their ass. I don't care. They lost and lost, bro.
No, they didn't.
It is what it
Close
is.
the whole game.
Take accountability, bro. That's like that cut and weight bullshit excuse, bro. You fucking lost, man.
Yeah, JD, take accountability.
Get it.
Be a
Shut up.
man, JD. Be a man.
Get it, Ron.
Bozos.
Fuck him up.
Let's talk about these morons. The Lakers 143, 138. How do you let the Spurs put up 138 points on you?
Anfernee Davis wasn't playing.
Okay, how do you let the Spurs put up 138 points on you?
He's your best. He's your only competent defender.
Bro,
you don't have
come
him.
on. Come on.
That's what explains it.
The Lakers defense is still bad, bro. And AD not being there is just
The Lakers
shows how
defense is
much
Anfernee
more-
Davis and praise. That's what the Lakers defense is.
exactly. They had fucking what was the big man? Thomas Bryant down there trying to rim protect. Like, get out of here. He only played 18 minutes too. Like, they wasn't doing that. Wendell Gabriel. Like, what are we doing?
Hey, yo, Morris, what's the Lakers defense right now, currently this year?
I know the Spurs are
they're
the worst.
ranked.
Spurs are the worst defense?
Yes.
They're ranked number 6 in defense.
Okay, because I
Minnesota is ranked number 7, by the way. But yeah, they're ranked number 6.
Okay.
Minnesota,
6
number
worst.
7.
Sixth best.
The Lakers.
They have the 6th best defense.
The Lakers have the 6th best.
If the Lakers keep that up and they can figure out some things on offense, are you guys like maybe?
I don't see.
high on the
I don't
Lakers?
see.
I
I
wouldn't
don't
say
see
high, but like,
they're,
you know,
they're literally the worst offense in the NBA. I don't see how much they figured that out, and I don't think LeBron at this point is helping guys like Anfernee Davis in terms of he slows down the game so much at this point. And when you have Russell Westbrook and Anfernee Davis, that's the opposite of what you want to do.
yeah,
I just don't think it fits. So when I see them all three back together, because AD didn't play, when they're all back together, I think his scoring is going to go right back down, and the people are going to say Anfernee Davis isn't good again. But I just don't think it works. I just don't think it works.
They have to figure out how to really like continue to let AD play like this. Like if AD doesn't play like how he's been playing while Braun was out, they don't stand a chance.
They need
It's
to speed
not-
up the pace. That's what they
nothing's
need
gonna
to do. They need to speed up the pace, but LeBron James just can't play at that pace consistently anymore, in my
There's
opinion.
no hope for the Lakers, bro. Come off here.
Do you think LeBron cares more about winning, or do you think it's just legacy now for him?
Winning is the legacy, right?
That's a good topic right there.
Love boys.
Potentially. Well, I guess because okay, so last night, for example, he put up 39, right?
Yes.
I look at that. Someone might look at that and be like, oh wow, like 39 points, LeBron James, woo, crazy.
No,
Against the worst, one of the worst teams in the NBA, worst defensive team in the NBA. I'm looking at like I feel like they're gassing this because again, it's like it's a
Someone
legacy.
said that LeBron was stat padding that game.
I
I
mean,
saw that in the
anyone running it up against the Spurs is stat padding.
I don't think it really. It's not about if he cares about winning or not. It's like there's nothing he can do about that. So he might as well just go get that
I-
title, go get that
I-
number one spot.
I think he cares. I think he cares about winning, but I think LeBron's smart enough to understand that this situation is terrible. So I think he is gonna try his best to try to win, but I don't think this is really a necessity for him to win this year. I think he understands that next year, with a lot more free agents going to be available, that he'll have a better chance next year. So I just don't think that he's just like he's not really 100% in it, in my opinion.
I don't think he's 100% in it until he's in the playoffs. If that makes sense.
Talking about his mentality in the regular season.
Regular season, because I don't think the regular season matters until like it's only how many games into the season?
Like
20.
Yeah, I was gonna say like 20, 25.
I don't think LeBron's 100% in it unless he's in like a favorable position. Like for example, Phoenix Suns, when Anthony Davis got hurt, you could tell the shift in energy LeBron James had as soon as he got down, bro. He just wasn't as aggressive as he should be because he understood he's not in a winning situation. He's not gonna win the chip that year because AD's not there. So he's like, fuck it, I'm not gonna sit here and try to get myself hurt. I'm just gonna relax. And I just think that's who LeBron James is. He's just a guy where he's gonna try when he's in the best situation possible to win a championship. But if he's not in that type of situation, he's just gonna play, you know, not as much as he would in a better situation, but he's just gonna be out here just playing.
I know it's gonna be hard for a lot of y'all to hear this, but I think it's about time y'all realize this. Y'all need to come to terms with the fact that LeBron is mortal, and this shit has to end one day.
Yes, he's
so
a
it's
front
like
runner. He's a front runner, yes.
Not
so
absolutely,
it's
but
like
what did
one day,
you do last night?
Yeah. I'm not trying to say anything like Bron's not still that guy. I'm not trying to say that at all. I'm just saying like he can't keep looking at it like, oh well, I'll just chill right now because next year. I don't think he's looking at it like that at all. I think he's like, fuck it, like we're not winning, but I'm gonna get my points because I need to pass Kareem. And I'm just gonna see what happens. I think Bron wants to win. I think he cares about winning, but I think he's also logical enough to know, like, bro, this is not gonna happen. We didn't make the trades. We could have got Bojan for a bag of chips. We didn't do that. So it's kind of like, bro, they don't have any interest in winning. I don't think. I'm not gonna say they're going for the tank, but I'm like, it just doesn't. I don't see it happening.
No, like you said before, I think they are interested in winning, but I think me and you are kind of in agreement where LeBron James isn't gonna have that, aggressiveness or obsession of trying to win. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, no doubt. But like I said, bro, I don't understand it. Like, once again, they could have got Bojan Bogdanovic for a Snickers bar, 2 Twix, and a bag of Fritos.
I told you that the contract. I think y'all get paid like 16, 17 mil.
I think it is about 16. That could have made it happen, bro. Some way, somehow. Like, you're wasting. These are Bron's twilight years. You got to do something. You can't. I mean, they not care, but I hate to see it. Like, Bron is pretty much a national treasure at this point. It's like, we don't want to see this shit. Like, I want him to be competitive. He's competitive, but his team's not,
Well, let's say Bron's a free agent right now. Let's say he doesn't sign that deal with the Lakers. He's a free agent this offseason. What would be the best team for him to go to?
The Warriors.
Bro,
Why do you say the Warriors, Bobby?
I'm just talking shit, bro.
No, if Bron went to the Warriors, how do we look at that?
The same way, bro. I don't know, really. Matter of fact, maybe Dallas. I'm not sure. I can't. I'm not prepared to answer that question.
I want to see y'all takes on this real quick.
I don't want that, Bob.
Nah.
Can I say something?
He don't want that. He don't want to play with Luka.
We don't want.
The KD demand for a trade.
Again?
I hear some people saying that in the chat.
Damn.
I remember he was demanding a trade, then Kyrie came back and shit. Because they realized that Kyrie did apologize and stuff.
If the Nets want Wiseman, we can do a KD trade. I think that's fair for both teams.
Fair exchange, no robbery.
Wiseman,
If
Kuminga.
Wiseman was balling, that trade might have already happened.
Putting up some nice stats in the G League, playing at his level.
He's fucking the G League up.
Exactly.
I would not deny that.
Exactly. He's a G League All-Star. So I think that's where he should be. And keep him.
I think LeBron should go with play with Luka Doncic.
So I have a
No
question real
thanks.
quick. So when KD joined the Warriors, do you think that would be the best team versus LeBron joining the Warriors in his prime. Like, not in his.
Oh,
Let's just say 4 years ago.
The
4 years
KD
ago.
team as well.
You say KD?
Yeah.
KD
It's the
better
same.
on
It's the same
Warriors?
to me.
For
Like
the
they're
Warriors-
both cooking.
In the Warriors system, KD's better.
I don't
It's
know.
not, I don't even think it's
LeBron.
close.
LeBron was just so dominant in 2018. Let's keep in mind, wasn't that the year that he almost got Finals MVP and he lost?
It was the year he got the Cavs to the finals, so I don't think he was ever going to get Finals MVP.
No,
I
he
still-
wasn't. Like what people were saying it, but I'm
Yeah,
saying
but
like,
I still think the KD team is. I think it's substantially better, to be honest.
I don't know, because I just think Braun was substantially better than KD at that point. Like,
do I.
and it was just he just did everything. So their defense would have got better, rebounding would have got better. Him and Steph Curry,
But they
like,
still would have won. They
still would have won. They still
Yeah.
they still would have cleared, just like they did. But
Yeah.
I don't know, bro. It was Braun was just such a dominant player that it was like,
So if you do that right, and so Bron goes to those Warrior teams, that means let's just for the sake of argument,
Not
we
Bron
put
now
KD,
though. I'm
that
talking
means
about
we
Bron
put
like 4
KD
years
on
ago.
those Cavalier teams, and so I don't think the Cavs even make it to the finals.
Yeah, they don't. But LeBron, the KD Warriors versus a LeBron Warriors, the KD Warriors would be a better team, in my opinion.
why you think that though? Just because KD can shoot?
KD fits much better. He's a better off-ball player. He's a better isolation scorer, and that's what
That's
the
a
Warriors
fact.
needed.
You
That's
think
a fact.
KD's a better
he-
off-ball player than Braun? Because
Easy.
and here's
I
I
think
know
so.
what you're gonna say. As an off-ball player, yes, he spaces the floor better. But Braun really moved like earlier, Braun, 2018 and before.
That's what I'm
Bron
saying.
really
4 years
moved
ago.
Braun wouldn't be playing off the
2018
ball.
Bron wasn't moving off the ball at all.
You would
He
not
was-
be playing off the ball.
Braun moved off the
2018
ball.
Braun-
pretty good.
2018 Bron wasn't moving off the
Not
ball, but that's
2018.
more out of necessity.
Ron,
If
when
you
you
wanna
have
say
LeBron
would have the
James-
ball though.
Ron, when you
Bron would
have
have the ball.
LeBron James, Steph Curry, and Klay Thompson, you're letting LeBron run the offense.
And then you're also
Steph-
taking the ball away from Draymond Green, and now you just have another non-shooter on the floor.
Steph and Klay running around the floor all night, just being a nightmare.
That's crazy.
LeBron's never been an off-ball player. Maybe a
I'm
little
saying, but
bit
he's-
on Miami, but he
but
wasn't.
he-
good
he-
at- he wasn't amazing at it. It was
He does
like
move without the ball though. LeBron gets a lot of backdoor cuts, and it's due to him being LeBron. You got to
That's
deny
probably the
LeBron the
only.
basketball.
Yeah.
That's probably the only thing that he probably offers.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
moves well
if-
without
if-
the ball, but it's not to anything like crazy. KD to me is clearly better off the ball. The fact that the Warriors need isolation scoring and they got damn near the best isolation scorer we've ever seen, that helps. KD at that point was also a better rim protector than LeBron, which is something else that helped and allowed the Warriors
People
to
are
go
saying
small.
pass first.
Yeah, but
I
then
agree
you
with
have
that too.
LeBron there, and then you also have Draymond Green. So then you just make Draymond Green nothing but a screen setter on offense, and then you're just making the floor spacing worse. Then if you have to play Looney, Draymond, and LeBron, you're just relying on Steph and Klay to be the only legitimate floor spacers at that point. KD
Looney
just fit
don't
that.
touch-
KD just fit
Looney-
that team
Looney
better,
don't
even
touch
though
the floor
LeBron's
at
better.
that point. Or
So
unless Draymond's coming off.
Then
the
you're
floor
running.
while
Then you're
LeBron's
running
coming off the
Draymond
floor.
at the 5, damn near hold the whole game, and then your team's just ridiculously small.
That's
I just
fine.
think there's too many holes in that team, even though LeBron's a better player.
My thing about that whole
We're talking
situation
about with
is-
Demarcus Cousins too, when he was on the Warriors too.
Yeah, Boogie wasn't good at all.
No, don't say that.
In 2019, DeMarcus Cousins wasn't good.
In 2019, DeMarcus averaged like 19 and 11.
No, he did not.
Yes, he did.
No, he did not.
It was like 18 and it was something along the lines of 18, 19.
Boogie was
DeMarcus
hurt, man.
He was not hurt. He
You
played.
said 2019,
he came
Ron?
back. Yeah, 2019 for the Warriors,
2019, he averaged 16 and 8, and then he got hurt in the. And then he got
That's
hurt.
solid.
Then he got
That's
hurt in the
solid as
playoff.
fuck.
That is.
I
Yo,
wasn't
16 and 8.
done. I wasn't done.
Oh, my bad.
Then he got
my bad,
hurt
Gil.
before. Then
My
he got
bad.
hurt before the playoffs again. Tore his quads. Was terrible in the playoffs and averaged 7 and 4, 7 and 5. So if you let me finish, you would have known that he got hurt again. Tore his quads. Came back
I
in the
know he
playoffs
got
and was
hurt
terrible.
again. I was there.
Yeah, I wasn't
watching
talking about
him.
regular season DeMarcus Cousins. He only played.
That's
like
what I was
25
talking about though. He was good because you said he was trash that year. He was good that year. He
In the
he
playoffs,
got
he was
hurt. Like
In the
obviously
playoffs,
he
he
was
was
dealing
We're
with
talking about in the
injuries.
playoffs. We're
You're
not
gonna
going to
be-
talk about the regular season
You're gonna why wouldn't we talk about the regular season?
because we're going to ask which team is better. We're not going to be like, oh, which team had a better regular season record. Of course, we're not going to do that.
I'm talking about just him that year. He was good that year.
And in the playoffs, what was he?
In the playoffs, he was hurt.
Okay, so when we're talking about the team which is going to be better, the KD Warriors or the LeBron Warriors, we're not going to talk about the playoffs.
We're talking about the whole thing in general.
Okay,
I'm
and then
talking about
the playoffs
team.
are going
I'm
to come
talking
up,
about the
right?
players.
And the playoffs are going to come up, right?
And the regular season is going to come up as well.
Sure. And in the playoffs, DeMarcus Cousins was trash.
And okay, in the playoffs, he was trash. You're going to just a snippet of him.
I'm going to the part
You're
that people
going
are
to
going
assist
to
with him. I'm talking
the
about
season.
at
the same
that
reason why
time
people
right
don't
there,
say the
DeMarcus was
73-9
good.
Warriors are the best team ever because of their record. They didn't do it in the playoffs.
Okay,
2019
but
Demarcus Cousins was solid in the regular season, got hurt again, and then was clearly worse in the playoffs.
So he was injured or he was trash? Which one?
I said he was trash.
He was
played
injured
trash.
or he was trash? And let's
You
put
can be
context
both.
around it. He
You
was
can be
trash
both.
due to injury.
Sure, I never.
Okay,
denied
but
that.
you so you were trying to say he was terrible that year. He was not terrible.
I never said he was terrible that year. I
Came
said he
back
was
in the
terrible.
playoff and he was hurt.
Yeah, and he was terrible.
What's the topic?
About for some reason, Demarcus Cousins got brought up with the KD and LeBron Warriors.
And I said he
So-
was good that year. He averaged 30.
But
and
why?
6
Why?
or
So
not
wait.
30,
What?
he averaged 16 and 8. And for DeMarcus, that was good that year.
And what are you saying? You're saying that LeBron James would have won a chip that year?
I mean, it's not.
Well,
No.
of course they would have
we're
won.
not even-
They
we're
would
not-
have won.
If he was on the Warriors, yeah, but we were just talking about just DeMarcus Cousins in general. And I'm saying this to say the Warriors should have re-signed DeMarcus. I don't think it's no reason why the Warriors shouldn't have brought DeMarcus back.
Okay.
It just gets hurt.
He ended up tearing his ACL in that offseason. What is bringing him back do?
Okay, Clay tore his ACL. They brought him back, and I know
Klay Thompson and DeMarcus Cousins not the same.
I understand that, obviously, but I'm saying like so it's like Kevin Looney. Who else they got? James Wiseman, but they didn't have James Wiseman at that point.
The thing is with DeMarcus Cousins that they just couldn't rely on is a guy who just kept getting hurt, especially with he was having weight issues because of him being hurt because he couldn't be out there. Just having a guy on your team is just there's no reason for it because he's most likely not going to be playing like that.
There's no reason to bring back someone who's been on the team for a year, coming off a torn Achilles, a torn quads, and then he tears his ACL.
Ron, I have a question.
What's up?
Because recently Dub was talking about this on the panel about superstars. Was DeMarcus Cousins ever a superstar?
Fuck yeah.
Dub?
I don't know. I don't know.
You
I
don't
think
know?
so. I don't
Yo,
think
it was
he
a point
Are
in
you
the
talking about
NBA.
superstar?
It was a point in the NBA where DeMarcus
Warriors?
Cousins was undoubtedly top 3.
And we're
Maybe
talking about
2.
Kings. We're talking about
Oh,
Boogie
yeah.
on
It
the
doesn't
Kings.
matter. I'm
Top
talking
2
about
what?
what he did.
Top
I'm
2
talking
what?
big men in the NBA.
Oh no, he was top 1, but DeAndre Jordan.
You
was
see
top
what I'm
3.
saying? So if he was the best center in the NBA, he was
I don't know. I think it's tough. I think that's so tough.
man. DeMarcus
He was also
averaging-
playing in the worst time.
Because was Kevin Love a superstar to you on the Timberwolves?
No,
he was
not
doing
so.
crazy shit. I don't know. The thing about it is,
So if it's
you guys-
debatable,
you guys
if it's
view
debatable
superstar-
for
you
Kevin,
guys view superstardom differently than I do. I don't view like you guys put in like how well known a person is, their presence in the media,
What
and
car
all
they
this.
drive?
So what's a superstar to you?
To me, it's just your level of play. It's
How many are
it's the elite tier. It doesn't. I don't put it in. Oh, it can only be 2 superstars today. It can only be 3 superstars. I put it in if you're in that elite category of skilled players, ability to do certain things on the court. That's when I put you in that group.
So how many would you say there are right now?
Right now, before the season, I had 6, possibly 7, and it was depending on if Kawhi came back to himself.
Mars.
So right now, I got 6.
Mars, if you were to change your definition of superstar and like kind of be lenient like Ron, how Ron is, how many would you have?
Do I assume Kawhi is Kawhi Leonard?
Full healthy?
Yes. Just
Nine.
for sake of this argument, you
9.
got 9. Oh, see,
9.
we're right.
Yeah,
alongside.
I've always said superstar level talents and superstars are different things. When we talk about superstar just on the basketball court, I think there's 8 or 9. I'm talking about superstars in terms of the global aspect of it. I think there's 3 or 4.
Yeah, I just look at I look at your ability to hoop as well as marketability. I mean, that's just how I look at it. So DeMarcus Cousins is tough because I think he did have the talent. I don't think he was as marketable or well liked as in the NBA masses, NBA media as he should have been. You feel me? And so on top of that, just being in a losing situation every single year, I think it's just tough for you to have that superstar status role if you're always in a losing situation.
Yeah, I mean that's tough for DeMarcus though, because like,
And that's the only reason why I think about it, because he
Dame-
was always on a trash team.
Damian Lillard, though.
Who's making the playoffs?
But Dame's making the playoffs.
Yeah,
Dame's
that's true.
making the
That's true.
playoffs.
I mean, but Dame always had a competent player next to him. DeMarcus had nothing in
I
Sacramento.
feel you. I feel you on
Nothing.
that. It's
He had
just
Rondo
tough.
for a little bit.
Hey,
Bobby,
he
you
had
guys could've
Tyreek
gave him
Evans,
that
Bob.
something. You guys could have
Talk
gave
to
him
about Tyreek Evans,
He
Bob.
disrespected Tyreek. It's all good.
Yeah, Bob. I know those were deep dark times.
I
was enjoying that basketball.
Listen, I'm thinking about box office too, bro. It's like people who's gonna a team is gonna want to buy somebody if they know that they're marketable. You feel me? So like maybe not Kyrie Irving now, but like a Damian Lillard or
Bro,
a James
Boogie was
Harden right
putting up
now.
like 50,
Yo, Doug,
40.
At that time,
Boogie was
at
going
that time,
crazy.
DeMarcus
I
was
know.
actually one of the more fun players to watch.
Right.
I
At
love
that time,
DeMarcus.
DeMarcus was a little bit ahead of his time with centers
Stretching the
grabbing
floor.
rebounds, shooting threes,
Bringing the ball up.
bringing the ball up the floor, going through the legs, spinning off people, going and dunking on people. DeMarcus was wild. He was
Bro, he
scoring
was
on all
I
different
know.
levels.
This
Mid-range,
is tough,
threes,
man. I don't
in
know.
the post, bullying people. That's
think
when
he's
still athletic,
yeah.
dunking on people.
And that's the reason why I think he's right there. Like that's why I think he's right there, but I'm just not sure. Mainly because he's just on a losing situation.
Yeah, I'm with Dub on this one in terms of like catapulting him into that superstar.
My thing with Boogie is if Boogie would have had another All-Star with him and then another like good role player, it would have been on.
You say
Y'all
that-
forget that
New
year
Orleans.
in New Orleans that they
Yeah.
would have
that's
popped
what
the
I
Warriors.
was gonna say.
Boys,
They
I
would
will die
have popped the Warriors that year in
Yes,
the
I think
playoffs.
so,
They was
too.
about to beat that ass. You
Boys.
remember what Rajon and Drew went up to Portland and did to CJ and Dame? They was on their way to do it in Oakland too. AD and DeMarcus was a problem. Rajon and Drew was a problem, bro. Y'all forget the Warriors was about to get that ass whooped.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, Mars. I'm pretty sure the Warriors would have lost to the Pelicans if Boogie and AD was there.
You guys think the KD Warriors were so beatable, but then everyone kills KD for making the move. But I'm
I
just
don't
hearing
think so.
many
I don't think
teams
so.
that could have
I don't-
beat them.
I don't
It
think
doesn't
so,
make sense.
Mars. I don't think they were unbeatable, but
Like people say it's unfair he broke the
I-
NBA, and
I
then I'm
think
just
they were
hearing all these
unbeatable.
teams that could have beat them. Like it doesn't make sense.
Well, it
I
wasn't
agree
all
with
these
you.
teams.
I
It
agree.
was
I agree
that
with you,
instance.
Mars.
It was Kawhi until Zaza did that whole
Yeah, so
shit. he did.
2017 they could have been beaten. 2018 you're saying they could have been beaten by two different teams, and then
Yep.
2019 they actually lost. So
what
clearly
you're saying, Mars, is that if certain seasons we could pick one or two teams that could have beat them if this went right, that means they weren't that great of a team.
Yeah, what I'm saying,
We see what we're doing. What you're doing, creating the narrative.
what I'm saying is, it's crazy to say that KD broke the NBA and then say that people had no chance of winning and everyone knew who was going to win. And then in the same sentence, say all these teams, the 2017 Spurs could have won, the 2018 Rockets could have won, the 2018 Pelicans could have won.
That's
It
three
doesn't
teams.
make
That's
sense.
three teams. That's 3 teams.
They
in
were
4
there
years.
for 3 years.
Okay, that's 3 teams in 3 years. What are you saying, Mars? Of course, there's somebody that could have won if this
People
went
were
right.
saying
If
that
this went wrong.
when KD made that move, people were saying it's over. They are going to win.
Well,
no
did
one
they
can beat that team.
lose? Did they win? We're talking about
Yeah,
hypotheticals.
they did
What
win,
really
but then
happened?
they did win. But now
Okay,
people
they
are
were
saying
unbeatable.
They could
They
have
were
Wait,
unbeatable.
Bobby, you're switching up. You're switching.
I'm not
you're
switching up
switching
nothing, Dub.
Bob.
I'm saying
No,
I'm
no,
not switching
no,
up
you're
nothing. I'm
switching
saying
up 'cause you just said-
hypothetically they could have won, but they didn't. So what are
Yeah,
you
'cause they
talking
got
about?
hurt.
Hypothetically they could have won, but they
Yeah.
didn't. The
And
Warriors.
they
The
just
Warriors.
said-
You
The
said
reason
no.
you think they won is
I
because the
didn't.
other teams got
Hey,
hurt.
Dub. You can't save him. Okay, you can't save him. You always do that.
Okay.
He needs this, Dub.
Go ahead.
He needs this. He can't. I'm not gonna sit here and let him switch up the narrative like everybody else
I'm
be
not
doing.
switching up the narrative.
That's not what's going on here.
I find it
We
funny.
said what I'm saying is this: you don't use hypotheticals when it fits you, okay? Because look, you're talking about everybody saying they couldn't be beaten. They didn't get beaten, but hypothetically, if DeMarcus didn't tear his Achilles, the Pelicans beat that ass.
So do you think the Warriors were unbeatable?
They
When
were
they were-
unbeatable
when-
because
when-
they didn't
no.
get beaten.
When they were formed,
I'm not talking about no hypotheticals.
They
We're not talking about no hypotheticals.
2017 Warriors.
In
when
real
they,
life,
when they
in
were
real
formed,
life, they were
when they were
unbeatable.
formed, did you think this team is unbeatable? They never.
When I heard that, when I heard that Kevin Durant did that sucker shit, I was like, oh my god, the NBA is never going to be the same. What's the point in watching?
Did you think they were unbeatable? That's
Yes, I did, and they were unbeatable.
Okay. Do you think the 2018 Pelicans could have beat them?
Hypothetically, if DeMarcus didn't get hurt, I think they had action. Yes.
How can you think a team is unbeatable and also think they could have lost?
Oh my god,
That doesn't make sense.
I thought
that doesn't make sense.
all right.
You can
I
say
mean,
it's
that's real life.
hypothetical, but you
That's
can't
how
say
real
I
life.
think
That's
the
how
team
real
is
life.
unbeatable.
That's how real life works, Mars.
I'm asking you for your opinion. You can't say I thought the team was unbeatable. I thought they could have lost.
No.
That's two different opinions.
You should have paid attention in science class. That's how the scientific method works. I come with my opinion. I'm like, shit, I think they're unbeatable. But let's test it. You got to test it. There's 7 steps to the scientific method. When you go through them, it was proven that they were unbeatable. But I thought maybe this team could have done it, and it didn't happen.
You can't say I think they were unbeatable. I think they could have lost. That's contradicting the whole point.
I can say
if
whatever
you think
the
they
hell
were unbeatable,
I want.
you think they never could have lost.
I think that they're unbeatable.
Never did lose.
I think that is, well, it's the same thing like what happened with Toronto, right? I thought they were unbeatable, but finally, and obviously I don't want anybody to ever get hurt doing anything, but unfortunately, KD went out, Klay Thompson went out, and the Raptors won. So that's what I'm saying. Hypothetically, if certain things happen and certain things don't happen, they could have won. But that was the best team assembled since the 2001 Lakers and the 96 Bulls before that, or also the 07, 05 Spurs.
So they weren't unbeatable.
They were unbeatable. Mars, did they lose?
That's not what I'm not going to do.
Listen,
it
You
again.
trying to make my argument for me to just
do it
If
again.
you think they could have lost, you don't think they were
I need to see
unbeatable.
it twice.
I
You
don't
don't think
think
they were unbeatable.
I don't
That's
think the Warriors were unbeatable. I think they did benefit from injuries as well.
Man, y'all
So that's
have
why
damn mind.
I can agree.
Time out,
Whether
time
I
out,
agree or disagree
time
with
out.
that is fine. It's just crazy that people blame KD for
Was
making the league
anybody
unfair and then
betting
say that
against the Warriors? Dub, did you bet against the Warriors? Since you're such a betting man,
I
did
thought
you do
Houston
that?
I thought Houston Rockets was going to beat them. Yes.
Bobby,
If
did you bet against the Warriors?
I don't know. I never bet against the Warriors once KD
Justin,
came around. I'm like,
ask your mama, did she bet against the Warriors?
That
Did anybody bet against the Warriors?
I was too young to bet.
Dub.
I
And
said,
Steve?
I just
Against
said out
the
my
Rockets.
fucking mouth.
Against the
I said
Rockets.
I
And you-
thought the
and you
Houston
see-
Rockets was going to beat them.
And you
When
see
Kawhi
of
Leonard,
people-
yes.
and people, you see what Hennessy does to you? It makes you do things that you probably shouldn't do in a clear, sober state of mind.
And
It was no way on
there was
God's
no
green
way they
earth,
went to. It was
on
no
this
way, but they
beautiful
went to a
green
game
earth
7.
that the man above constructed,
so
where
There was
Chris
no way.
Paul and James Harden beat that Warriors team.
It was
We
no
can
way,
run that
but they went
scenario
to a
back,
game 7.
and we can do the Thanos.
in 2018 when Chris Paul got injured.
Yes.
Game 6?
Oh man,
There was
here
no
we
way
go.
it was going to happen, but they went to a game 7. Obviously, it could have definitely happened. So I wasn't wrong in my assessment. Especially if it went to a game 7, and I think they lost by 9 points without their second best guy there.
That's true.
So it's not the Hennessy talking, it's just logic. It's
It was
logically
no-
thinking that it's not getting caught up, what you love saying, is not getting caught up in the glamour and the names of everything. Not getting caught up in what we see and what we like. It's just analyzing these teams for who they are, looking at the pros and looking at the cons, and having an assessment of it. And
We're
even though that,
analyzing the teams
and
for
even
who
though,
they
and
are.
even though the Warriors had a bigger collection of names, yes, I thought
I'm
the
not
Houston
looking
Rockets
at the
was a
names.
better
I'm
team.
not looking at the names at all. I'm looking at the style of play. First off,
They were
That's the
they were
first thing
starting
I'm going
PJ
to.
Tucker at the center, bro. How the fuck was they gonna win?
Clint
I'm
Capella.
looking at just strictly the style of play. The Rockets, like, look. You know how they say don't bring a knife to a gunfight?
Mhm.
Okay, well, also don't bring a gun to a nuclear weapon fight. Like you're not when the countries is bombing each other, you're not gonna run up there with machine guns trying to fight that. I'm
The
like, bro,
Houston
how-
Rockets, the Houston Rockets had the best offense in the league at that time.
Yeah,
on top of
yeah,
the best, on top
yeah.
of the best offense, on top of the best offense in the league, they had a really good defense as well with Trevor Ariza, PJ Tucker, where they could switch. On top of that, rim protected
Yo.
like a Clint Capella, and you had one of the best point guards ever, and Chris Paul helping run the show with James Harden. So it's not really wrong to think that, especially when for the whole season the 2018 Rockets was actually the best offense in the league at the time. I think
Doug,
they
do
were
you
putting
mind?
up
Do you mind if
numbers.
I ask you how much you put on the Rockets when you made that bet? It's none of my business, but I'm just just out of curiosity. How much did you put on the
No, I
Rockets?
made a bet like I would. I'm saying I would bet. It wasn't like a real bet, but I'll tell my friends. I'll make a bet with my friends like, nah, bro, like the Houston Rockets, I would die on this hill.
But were you
arguing
at
with
least
people saying that.
least betting for push-ups?
Nah, I never bet for push-ups.
Dub.
I was
So you
arguing
can-
to the
you
death of me that
sincerely
the
believe
Houston Rockets
that
was
that
gonna
Rockets-
beat
But
them.
you didn't put nothing on it though.
Than the Warriors.
I couldn't put anything on it. I'm just
Bro,
nobody
you
wanted
knew
to take
them
the bet.
boys wasn't finna beat the Warriors, man.
I thought they
That's when you hated Steph Curry. That's who you hate, Steph. That's what it was. You knew that wasn't gonna win, but you just don't fuck with Steph that much.
Nah, I just thought the Rockets were a better team.
How?
Dell did too, though. I mean, I thought that they had
How?
a chance.
I'm trying to.
Bro, it's not that far
trying to-
I was a
fetched.
What
LeBron.
do you
I was
mean
a
it's
I was a
not that
LeBron. I was.
far-fetched?
Bro,
I was
you're
a,
looking at
this is
hindsight.
This is hindsight.
yeah.
When the Rockets were up 3-2, it's not crazy to say most people thought. the
No,
Rockets would-
absolutely. I'm talking about just going into the series. I believe.
Yeah,
that
it
the
was
Rockets
pretty. It
were
was
so-
pretty even. How people.
Yeah,
were
there
doing
wasn't.
that.
It wasn't like landslide one way or the other.
Like sometimes, like you guys got to stop looking at the numbers. Oh, this team is one of the best
Ron,
offenses
you
ever.
have to stop
And
looking.
this. I'm telling you what I was looking at. I'm looking at this group of guys and the way they play, and I'm looking at this group of guys and the way they
Bro,
play.
you know how
and it was
ostriches
no
stick their
way-
head in the ground like
It was
fucking-
no way in
So
hell.
I'm bringing up
It
the
was
way.
no-
I'm bringing up the way they played
You,
with you.
Ron.
I'm talking about the defense and having CP and James Harden there, and then you're just disregarding fact. You're just hanging on to me just saying they had one of the best offenses.
He's hanging on to the fact that he thinks James Harden and Chris Paul are just playoff trinkers.
But I didn't even go to that.
It's not. It's not
I
about.
didn't
It's
even
not
go
about
to that
basketball.
point. I didn't
That's
even
what
go to
you-
that
That's
point.
why you.
No,
think-
the point. Can I make my point, or are you gonna keep trying to make my
Go
point for me?
Go for it.
What I'm trying to
Go
say
Ostrich,
is,
man.
you're talking about Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Kevin Durant, who you guys were just saying is this, and that. We just went on a whole KD rant with Andre Iguodala, Hall of Famer, and some other dudes on the bench too. We're talking about this collection of dudes that shoot the fucking piss out the ball compared to the Rockets who just run and gun shooting threes. Yet now, okay, I know that was successful up until that point. But you know how I just said bringing a knife to a gunfight? That's basically what they did, because it's no way in hell that those guys or anybody, you're not out shooting the Warriors.
And this
It's
is why
just not
Chris
happening.
Paul.
You're
And this
not,
is why.
you're not
and
out
thi-
shooting the Warriors.
And this is
I
why
don't-
Chris.
Go
this is-
go pick whoever you want to. Go get Peja, go get Dirk, go get Ray Allen. It's not happening. You're not out shooting the Warriors. The 2018 Warriors, it's not happening. And that was their game plan. We're gonna
Peja
come in here
smoked them boys.
and shoot more threes than them. We're gonna
And
come in here and literally outshoot Stephen Curry and Klay Thompson and Kevin Durant. It wasn't fucking happening.
Well, they were
Tough
doing
luck.
it. They were doing it because they're
Tough
up
shit.
3-2. And this is why I say Chris Paul was really crucial to that team, because he was a guy where, yes, you were shooting threes, but he was a guy where there was also moments in the game where he would try to control the game and not let them get too sporadic and just rely on that consistently.
Chris
he was a guy that
Paul's
kept them-
name being
he
on the
was a
roster
guy-
is enough for
He was
them
a
to
guy.
lose.
He was a guy. He was a guy who kept them composed. And what you guys are doing is, I'm gonna repeat this again. What you're doing, Ron, and what you just did, Bobby. You're just looking at the names and not the actual team. You're looking at James Harden, Chris Paul, playoff chokers. They couldn't get it done. Then you're looking at Stephen Curry. Oh no, wait. Because you just said you said out your mouth. You said out your mouth. Steph Curry, KD, Klay Thompson. You're not beating them in a 3-point shootout. That's what you said. That's you relying on the
Yes.
names instead of the style of play.
Yes. No, I'm talking about
Once again, we talking hypotheticals. We all do know the Rockets lost, right?
Yeah.
Oh my
That wasn't
God.
the
All right,
question that was asked.
we've talked about this specific series plenty of times on the show. I want to get to these super chats. James Gauze 123. I'm a Martian living in Bobby's world. Heat. Big Ox Bob. JF. Bobby is winning debates versus Low, Mars, and Chill.
I'm cooking their asses. That's not even close, JD. You didn't even have to read that. Everybody know that. They don't want it would be.
Gabe with the super chat. Winning coincides with your legacy. Of course, that man wants to win. That was back when we were having the LeBron discussion. Football breakdown. LeBron with Steph and Klay as shooters. LMAO. I agree. I mean, I think it's just cheese,
That's
regardless. Either way. Can we talk, Z-Dub, can we talk about Westbrook leaking and getting called for a tech? I mean, what do you
Talk about who?
what do you say about it? Russell Westbrook got clocked by Zach Collins?
Zach Collins, yeah.
Leaving a huge gash in his forehead. Russ bleeding all over the place. I mean, nothing
Russ
really
got
more than
called
that.
for the tech.
Yeah,
I think
Collins
he's starting
got
going
ejected.
berserk afterwards. So
Collins
Do you think it would? Do you
Collins
think
got
it should have been
ejected.
called for a flagrant and a tech at the same time?
Collins getting ejected for the elbow.
No, yeah, Collins for the flagrant. I'd say flagrant 2, and then the tech for the over, for Russ.
I only really saw
don't
like
think it's crazy.
15 seconds of it. If from what I saw, the elbow, I didn't think that was like intentional or anything. I don't know that he should have been ejected for it. And I have no idea what Russell Westbrook did after the fact. So
I don't think it's crazy.
If you look at that replay or like a clip of it, it doesn't look like he did it intentionally. at all.
You're
I
talking about
think-
Colin's elbow?
Yeah. I feel like just because Russell Westbrook was so much smaller than him when he went up, I think he had his hands over him like this, and I think he smacked his elbow at the same time, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, I think he was trying to come down hard on him regardless. I don't think he was trying to elbow him in the head, but he was definitely trying to come down hard and either block the shot or make sure he doesn't get an attempt.
Definitely a good one.
Anyway, I want to talk about the LUCRA wager of the week. Again, if you have not, make sure you check out LUCRA. We got the link pinned to the top of the chat right here if you are live. If you haven't liked the video or subscribed to Player's Choice, make sure you do that as well. But go ahead and check out LUCRA. We got the wager of the week. We're going with Giannis versus AD. This game is actually happening on Friday. Lakers versus Bucks on ESPN. So national game. Friday, December 2nd. But we're not doing points. We're going Giannis versus AD for blocks. And we're taking Giannis over AD. Here's the deal. AD, I think, is averaging like 1 or 1.1. So call it one more block a game than Giannis. But we are taking Giannis this game. Anyone have any thoughts on that?
This for
You guys are about to lose some money.
Yeah, you
Bring
guys
it
are.
on.
I don't
Bring
like-
it on.
Like, oh my
I wonder if
God.
they're going to do a shooting competition then. That makes sense.
Huh?
Instead of taking it to the rim to get the blocks. I don't know.
Well, they're not aware about that. They're not about to change that game because of.
Well, yeah, I know that.
They might watch Players Choice.
That'd be great. Giannis just start chucking some frees so AD don't block his shot.
No one brings it to the paint. I'm here for it.
Harden choked in game 7.
You guys are for sure losing that bet though. 100%.
So, wager of the week, if you want to challenge us, if you think that AD is going to get more blocks than Giannis, go ahead and send those our way. If you want to ride with us and you want to go send this to your friends, go challenge your friends. Take Giannis with us. Ride this wave with us. Speaking of LUCRA, Ron,
What about it?
we have a matchup tonight. We have the greatest player in the NBA currently against the second greatest player in the NBA. Do you know who those two players are?
5th or 6th. First.
Okay, if you want to put Giannis as 5th or 6th, that's fine. But Luka number 1, we all know this. And so I want to do. I'm gonna bring it up here too. I'm bringing it up here.
JD, don't do this. Save yourself the hassle
Why
and
not?
save the money too.
Why not?
Go buy your girlfriend something nice. Take her out to eat.
I'm gonna take you out to eat after I take your money.
That's all right. IPAs.
Pale ales is your old call. Here we go. We got this going on. Let me take this down really quick so you guys can see what's going on. Luka Doncic, Giannis Antetokounmpo. Luka's actually projected more than Giannis, but Ron, I would ask you if you would take this straight up.
Is this for points, right?
This is for points.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll take it, but instead of that 10 that you have right there, take that 1 out and put a 5 there.
50.
50 big ones.
Okay, but you gotta put in an aspect like a player could have an off night too. So you just gotta see who's gonna have that off night that night.
that's the whole point. That's the whole point of doing these wages. You just guess.
That's why
Ours
it's
is
hard.
over.
Like, you're trying to analyze it too much. They just guess who they think is gonna have a better game, and they put money down on it. It's like, they're not about, oh, Luka hasn't had a bad game in 6 nights, so maybe now no. Like, they think Luka's gonna have a good game. They think Giannis gonna have a good game. Giannis is gonna score more. That's what it is. Like, that's it. There's nothing else to it. Like, they can't be like, Luka started out 0 for 6, so let me not place the wager. No, like, they do it before the game. They can't anticipate the bad game. Otherwise, you just never do any. If you don't want to do any wagers because of that, that's on you, but they're trying to make money.
Am I lagging?
Nah.
You're lagging crazy.
Oh, you liar.
JD.
Yeah.
Hey, Gabe. Que lo que? Hey, Gabe, you know what the hell we talking about, brother.
inside joke with one person.
Ron,
It's
what's good?
crazy.
Yes, sir.
The thing about it is, probably on any given night, it's a chance that I take Luka. But head up, it's no way. Why? Because the Mavs have nothing for Giannis. I mean, nobody else has anything for Giannis, but the Mavs especially don't have nobody to slow down Giannis. And on top of that, on the other side of the ball, there is a man named Drew Holiday. Yes, he still exists in this NBA.
Luka Doncic bullies Drew Holiday, though, so it doesn't matter. He just makes him vanish.
Well, he bullies everybody, but the thing about it is, it's like on any given night, this is going to be one of the toughest battles that he has to go. One of the toughest defenders that he has to play offense against. So it's like
they'll probably lose. I don't care about that. I just know Luka's going to put up more than Giannis this game. That's
all I know is Drew going to hold him to under 25. We can do that. We can make that the bet or the wager that Luka's under 25.
You don't
That's
just go straight
Mars.
up, bozo man.
It's your money. It's not mine.
Send it through.
It doesn't. Giannis at the rim, Brook Lopez at the rim, Drew Holiday point of attack. If there's a team that's gonna limit Luka's score, it's the Bucks.
Mars,
But he also might just take 35 shots
Mars, you
So,
like
yeah.
Giannis in this wager?
against the Mavs. Yeah, their rim protection is abysmal.
All right, we'll see. Also,
Gabe, send it through.
make sure you add on the LUCRA app. Make sure you go to your social. Make sure you go to my friends, add friends, and go find Player's Choice. It's all one word, no spaces. We're going to add you to our group. We have a Player's Choice group, and we have a leaderboard. And look at who's at the top. Player's Choice, leading the pack. We got Big Ox Bob in second, though. He's got one under his belt. So make sure you guys do that so that we can add you to the group so that you can try to climb the leaderboards. I mean, I don't see us folding that number one spot, but
Gabe, you asked me, can you have the bet? Send it through. Just send it. I'll accept it. I promise you, and I'll take your money happily.
all right. We got a DM yesterday, actually. This is from Brightmo Jack. Shout out to Brightmo Jack. He said, Anfernee Simons versus Jordan Poole. He also added their games are very similar. Same age, around 9 days apart. So a little fun fact for you if you didn't know their ages.
I said a few months ago Anfernee Simons was a better player than Jordan Poole.
But are we going to put Jordan Poole in the starting lineup that night, though? Nice.
Huh? I'm confused. They're just asking who's a better player. That's
I know, but like,
so what's the sideline going to do?
so are we talking about points wise? Like, what are
No,
we
just
talking-
who's better at basketball.
Probably Jordan Poole, I'd say, in my opinion.
Not even fucking close.
Why is Jordan Poole better?
Okay. Are we just gonna talk about like handles? Are we talking about like better like off ball? Like
Whatever
there's-
constitutes who's better at
because
basketball in your eyes.
there's a difference. Like there can be role players and then there can just be a star player like on that team, if that makes sense.
Who's better at basketball?
I say Jordan Poole.
Because
Not just because he's on the Warriors, but he actually makes the Warriors like better. I feel like not just as a team, just like he actually contributes to that team too.
so what does Anfernee Simons do?
He contributes to his team as well.
I'm confused.
Like Anfernee Simons is better than Jordan Poole, in my
Thank you.
opinion.
So,
I
agree.
don't think Jordan Poole fucking with Anfernee Simons on his best stat.
Bro, give me Anfernee Simons as well. Anfernee Simons gets
You guys didn't agree with me like this when I said it a few months ago. What's changed?
I don't know about that.
I
I
was
wasn't on that. I wasn't
now
on that
everyone
episode.
was
I
with
was
me.
with you.
Okay.
No, I
I
was
said
on the
Anfernee
episode.
Simons was better than CJ McCollum.
I know that
I
people
said
weren't
that.
with you with the hero.
What's that?
Yeah, you
Hero
tripping with
Poole.
that shit, Ron.
No, I'm not. I'll take give me Anfernee
Mars.
over CJ.
I was
I-
just debating. I was just debating with nobody. I guess.
I got you.
Mars, I wasn't
got
on that show because I'm taking Ant over Jordan Poole every day of the week. And Mars, you know me and you, we always agree on shit. We be on the same. We right here.
You guys are on the same big ox.
Y'all just disagreed like 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, but-
it might have sounded like that to y'all, but y'all don't understand me.
Yeah,
and
you
Mars
guys
agree.
weren't listening correctly. We were actually agreeing, just in different ways. Yeah. But yeah, Anfernee Simons is better than Jordan Poole. I think he's better than Tyler Herro as well. I said that as well. I think he's the best of. I think Tyrese Maxey's the best of all of them. I think it's Tyrese Maxey, Anfernee Simons.
Who's all of them?
Like the four guys who seem to be compared: Anfernee Simons, Tyrese Maxey, Jordan Poole, and Tyler Herro. Those four guys seem to be put in like the same role. I think it's Tyrese Maxey, Anfernee Simons, Tyler Herro, Jordan Poole.
Wait, you got
That's a
Tyrese
good one. I haven't heard that one.
You got Tyrese over Ant?
Yeah, but I think it's really close. I just prefer Tyrese Maxey because I think he's better in transition. I think he's better finishing at the rim. I think Anfernee Simons, for some reason, he's so athletic, but his finishing at the rim is kind of questionable. And Tyrese Maxey's a much better defender. Anfernee Simons is really bad.
I got that the same ranking, but I think I got Tyler just a little closer than Ant. Like I got Ant over Tyler, but just barely though.
Man, I'm gonna put.
I got Tyler over Anfernee just barely.
I got Tyrese and Ant over Tyler and Jordan Poole.
But who do you got out of Tyrese and Ant?
That was a tough one, actually. I think with Ant, we're talking about offensively. I'm taking Anfernee Simons because I think with him shortening more of a load offensively on the Trailblazers compared to Maxey, which is more impressive to me. But if you want to go with the defensive argument for Tyrese being better, I mean, I'm not mad at it. But I got to go with Anfernee Simons, especially as like the best guy on my team.
My thing with Ant, and the reason why I have Ant is because I can see Ant being, well, I mean, we're seeing it right now with Dame being out, and even a little bit last year. Yeah, they weren't good last year, but I can see Ant being a number one option on any given night. I don't know if Tyrese can do that for me. I don't know if I can just feel comfortable like, hey, Tyrese is my guy.
You feel like he's more point guard oriented? Like
no, I just feel like he's. And I mean, Ant can't be the number one guy on a championship team either, but I just feel like Tyrese is strictly a number 2 or number 3 option in the NBA, like for the rest of his career. Like, and I don't want to sound like I'm knocking him because I do like Tyrese, but I think Ant really has potential to be a number 2 guy on a good team, and even a number 1 on a mediocre playing team.
I have a question, and chat's bugging over this as well. Because his name's Anfernee, do you have to shorten it to Anf?
I'm not gonna say Anf.
Anf.
I'm not doing that. He's Ant.
And
hey, on top of that too, I think Simons, out of all those guys we mentioned, I think he still has another tier or two that he's gonna get better. I don't know how much better Maxey's gonna get. I don't think Jordan Poole gets too much better. I don't know about Tyler Herro if he's really gonna get so much more better, other than what he's doing right now.
Why do you think Maxey's hit his ceiling though?
I just don't. I honestly don't know. I just can't really see him getting too much better.
Tyrese Maxey got a lot to learn up top. So once he gets his control of the floor better, slow his pace down, I think that's gonna shoot him up levels. I think he can still get a lot better. Maybe not so much physically, like I said. I think it's more IQ for him. Mm-hmm. Once he learns all that, I think he's going to be a problem for a while.
Maxey could really be like a Trae Young type, like their game could be very similar in that. Like you said, Bobby, I think he has to mature on just like the basketball IQ side of things.
Taking notes from James Harden is not a good way to start.
Hopefully he's not. I hope he's not doing that. I hope he's not doing that.
He 100% is. He 100% is, bro. I remember the first day James Harden got there, he was working out with him.
About the Trae Young thing, JD. I'm not gonna debate with y'all that I don't think he's better than Trae Young.
No shit. Of course not, bro. And people are tweaking. I'm saying that a similar type of basketball player.
Well, I'm saying that to say this. I damn near would rather have Tyrese
than Trae Young.
Obviously, it depends. It depends on the people around.
All right,
but like, I don't got time.
I'm gonna see y'all later.
Yo,
Trae Young's been stepping out head out too.
I'm not saying he's better than Trae. I'm not saying that nowhere in it did I say that. But I'm just saying like I think I might take Maxey. Not
on the Hawks or like in what situation are we talking about?
What would the team have to be? Like on the Sixers, who's a better fit for the Sixers?
Trae Young.
Well, you don't really want Trae with James and Joel. I don't know if that really matters too much.
Bro, Bob,
there's only one basketball, bro.
This is a go-go gadget reach. Like, I don't know where you're trying to go with this. in all situations.
I'm
Trae
not
Young
trying. I'm
is
not
better
trying to
than
go
Maxey.
anywhere. I don't know. I disagree with that. Basketball it fluctuates compared to system, coaching, type of style of play you do, all that. Like basketball is not just the same. You're not gonna have you can have 5 different people and put them on 5 different programs and 5 different styles of play, and you're gonna maybe not every time, but sometimes you're gonna come up with a new better player. It just depends on what type of system you're running. It's not like basketball. It changes. And once again, I'm not saying I'm not even trying to make an argument that Tyrese is better than Trae. I don't think there's really an argument to be made. But sometimes you can pick a player that's a tier or 2 under as long as you got other guys. I just don't really care too much to watch for Trae Young's basketball. That's all.
I mean, I don't care for it either, but
Picking Maxey over Trae Young in any scenario is asinine.
it's pretty crazy. Shai Gilgeous Alexander.
Nobody asked you, bozos. I was making a statement.
Shai Gilgeous Alexander scored 30 points in 7 of the last 8 games. Shai's really doing it this year.
I want him over Trae.
He's having that jaw leap year that Ja had last year.
Here's the thing I said about Shai even a couple years ago, though. And you're always going to compare these guys because they're in the same draft class. But with Luka, Trae, and Shai, it was always just, Luka, Trae. I was telling people that Shai's a little closer to these guys than you give him credit for. He didn't come out the gates going crazy like them two. But if you can look at basketball and tell, you can see Shai's nice for real. And the thing about it though is he just wasn't winning because he was in OKC. That was also another thing too. But Shai's been going crazy. He just took a big step forward this year, averaging 30 and going crazy. But Shai isn't too far behind Luka and Trae.
I agree. Yeah, he wasn't in the same conversation for what 2-3 years.
And my thing was, I wasn't saying that he was better than either of those two. I still don't think he's better than either of those two. But I'm saying
a lot closer than
when you mention him as well.
Yeah, for sure. Do you feel like it was his situation where it's you're not really paying attention to him, or do you think it was he just wasn't? Well, I think it's kind of obvious he wasn't at this level 2 years ago. But what was it from looking at him and not realizing that he really could be like this?
I will have to say a lot of it was situational. Just being an OKC, bro. Nobody pays attention to OKC.
True.
And the only reason they're paying attention to him right now is because they've won some games and he's just been going crazy during them games they've been winning. If OKC, what's OKC right now?
No. They're negative record. They're still losing. It's just SGA is playing crazy. He's having so many 30-point games this season. I think this is the best start he's had in his whole entire career. So they're losing. They're still bad, but I think Shai just elevated his game to a level where everybody's just noticing him.
They won a couple games though. They was close to 500. And the thing about it is, and they beat a couple teams too. But the thing about it was though, it's when he's doing that and they're winning games, now it's oh, okay. He actually his game now actually can affect them winning. When you score 30 and your team is just getting smacked, people are just going to say, oh, empty stats, it doesn't matter. Empty stats, it doesn't matter. We do that all the time. I get sucked into that as well at times.
Bro, you know what's going to be crazy is OKC.
I don't.
OKC could really potentially fight for a play-in spot.
Ron,
it will be difficult, but
Ron, I don't understand where you're coming from because Shai, the most he averaged in the season was last year, 24. I think he only played 56 games, and then 2 years before he only played 35 games. And like I said before, this is the best start in his career. This is the best statistical performance he had in his career as well. He wasn't playing like this in his whole entire career until this season.
Not for sure. He for sure wasn't, but he was balling enough to still get some type of recognition. And
I think a lot of
acting like Shai was not there, like he was non-existent.
I remember
he wasn't in the NBA.
I remember on the show, wasn't Shai ranked above I think LaMelo Ball and under 25 players? Mars, were you here on the show with that?
I don't know. I just know I had Shai as a top 5 shooting guard last year.
Yeah.
Shouldn't he be ranked above LaMelo Ball?
Of course you should.
Yeah. I think Shai was ranked number 3 or number 4, like under 25. So like that's me, in my opinion. Everybody's seeing and the love he gets. I think he always got love. I think why
Number
the reason
23 for Shai is nasty though, and I think I said that at that moment when we were doing that on the show. I think I was caping for Shai like crazy, and whoever was up there was like, nah, Shai's not like that. This is what I'm trying to say.
down.
He's a lot closer to those guys, and you can see now with his style, with the way he's playing right now, than we've given him credit for.
We agree SGA is better than Zion, right?
Yes.
What's
Yeah.
There's not to think
what?
about. There's not.
I wanted to think about it though, but yes.
It's something about it. It's something about. Listen, I'm just a Zion guy.
I am too, but I think it's a trap, bro. I think it's a trap.
I got big love for Zion. It might be a trap, but I don't. I still think that Zion is just getting warmed up.
Zion's a vanity trap, bro. He is a vanity trap.
Pick your players like you pick your women, man.
He's a vanity
Fire
trap.
him up, duh.
Hey, I want to talk about Shaquille O'Neal's comments on Dwight Howard. So he said this on his podcast, the big podcast. He said he's supposed to have 30 points playing against dudes 5'8". This league reminds me of a Lifetime Fitness league. Dwight Howard responded, "Do not disrespect my teammates in this league and these people in Taiwan like that. That is highly disrespectful. It's hating. You're too old to be hating, too big to be hating." He actually put out in a statement on social media. Dwight Howard did. It was a lot longer than that, so I would suggest you go read it, what all he said. But he added stuff in there like, I've poked fun at people, but like in like a joking manner, whatever. And then he's calling Shaq's like, he's truly a hater, blah, 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 whatever. He's like, we need to get off this hater shit. Whatever.
Shaq got a crush on Dwight. He been hating on Dwight forever. I hate Shaq for that. Like, it's corny. It's corny as shit. He hates on Dwight. He damn near almost ruined JaVale McGee's career. When JaVale really wasn't even that bad, he just did a lot of shit that was goofy. So it made the Shaq and the fool. Shaq's the biggest hater that I've seen in the media. It's really corny, bro. It's really corny.
I think that Dwight was like out of nowhere. I didn't really think that it was really necessary. I don't know why you're even conserving yourself with Dwight Howard if he's not even playing in a notable league. It's just so weird, so stupid in my opinion as well. So just let the man live, bro. You just mad because he had that Superman title for a little bit and you just got jealous off of that. So it's just gotta come to your senses, man.
That really is what it was, huh? Shaq just got mad that we called him Superman.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what else other reason. Maybe he got mad at the comparisons that that Dwight had being compared to Shaq and the Superman title. I might have been all of that, bro. It's just weird.
Bro, here's the thing. So I wanted to hear you guys' thoughts because I'm torn on this. So I agree. I think that, there is a little bit of just like hater shit going on, whatever. But also Shaq's not wrong.
Not wrong.
That's not the point, JD.
Shaq can't have a 30 on me. I'll say that.
You said what? You said what, Mars?
Shaq's not getting. Dwight Howard isn't getting 30 on me. I'll say that. So
My
those
thing is,
5'8" guys in Taiwan, they need to step it up because it's not.
What's the problem with wanting to play basketball? Like I hate that. That just goes to like people just hype everything. They only give respect to players that's playing like in the NBA. It's like there's a lot of really good basketball players out there. So if I'm G League, either way, like
they have to promote their product. I mean, I get it.
Well, I understand that. I'm talking about this people like fans, just regular everyday people. They don't understand that there's a lot of really good basketball players out there. Like I personally think in the NBA. So what you got? I don't know how many players in the NBA. So out of it's probably 30,
400
20,
something.
450.
So of that 400, bro, I'll bet you like maybe 100. The top 100, 150 are the best players in the world. The rest of them could be mixed with a lot of these overseas cats and all that, bro. There's a lot of talent out there, and people fall in love with that. But my point is, what's wrong with wanting to play basketball? If he can't get the minutes he wants or get on the team in the NBA, and he goes overseas to play ball, now we're gonna disrespect him like, oh, he's weak, he's supposed to do that. It's like, well, Shaq need to get the white dick out of his mouth, bro.
Jesus.
100%.
That shit is corny, bro. That shit is corny as fuck.
How you
My
gonna make
thing
fun
is-
of somebody just trying to play ball and get paid? For
Yeah,
it, bro?
people. There's people
Like
out here that
Shaq.
really love ball.
Yeah, like you
Alright.
switch over to fucking ESPN and NBA media, bro. What, we should make fun of you
Man,
because you couldn't keep in shape. You couldn't treat your body right, so you had to take a job where you could just sit on your fucking ass all day and not do nothing but hate on people. I mean, we
Man.
could just be nasty. We could be nasty, bro. And I love shit talking, so let's fucking do it. You feel
yeah,
me?
bro, it's crazy, bro. It's like if I was good enough, bro, I'd play until I couldn't play no more. You know what I'm saying? So it's just kind of like, yeah, I just don't like people disrespecting the hoop dream because Dwight's good enough to keep playing, bro. You should play until he can't play, bro. And shouldn't feel bad about having to go and play in Taiwan.
Yo, my thing is, this man is all the way halfway across the world. Why is he even crossing your mind?
Bro,
Like,
'cause it's Dwight Howard. you know?
I know the video went viral and everything and all of that, but even when you see it, why is your first thing to be like,
Oh, let's hate on this shit.
yeah, like,
Well, because it's a guy who is a future Hall of Famer. He dominated in the NBA for a stretch. It's not like it's a fringe guy who played in the league and then went over, right, and then is making noise. So, like, I get it. I understand. I don't know. I don't really know what
And
else to say about
who
it.
else just signed out there? Was it DeMarcus?
Yeah.
In Taiwan?
Yeah,
Mhm.
Who, DeMarcus Cousins?
yeah.
Are they
Rookie.
signed to the same team?
No,
No, I don't
No,
know.
that would be nuts.
Yeah, that would be crazy.
That would be mad fun.
Yeah, I think the Taiwan League trying to go up right now. They trying to make some noise.
That's dope. That's
Yeah,
dope.
that's what's up. Remember, they were trying to get Carmelo out there too.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
they
that's
definitely
what they
got some money out there that they kicking out for
Yeah,
Yeah,
sure.
they're gonna have to come with a bag for Melo.
I mean, if they're trying to get him, they probably got it.
Yeah, for sure. I'm not questioning that.
Thanks.
Steph Curry on the possibility of playing for the Hornets in the future. This is a quote from, I think it's The Score. If I can play for the Warriors my entire career and be one of those guys where I've had a lot of success individually and collectively as a team and become a one-team guy, that list is pretty short. But like I said, that can be true. And also the curiosity of, like, what would it be like to wear number 30 in Charlotte like my pops? He's not leaving. He's not leaving Golden State.
I'm not.
Come on, let's be real here.
No.
That's fun and all to say,
I could
but
see it happening in
Clay?
his late years. Why not?
Because he wants to be a one-team guy.
Yeah, but he also wants to go home.
Yeah, he can
That's
go home
like-
when his career's done.
I could
He
see.
want
Does
to
he
play
wanna
with
go
his,
home?
in his. That would be cool to play in his pops jersey though.
I agree with Mars.
I could see him doing that. I could for sure see him doing that. Like if they win another ship or two, he's like, okay, and he's 38. He's like, I don't have nothing else to prove. I've done everything I possibly can do. I could see him going and playing 1 year over there. This shit happens all the time.
It's just like how y'all saying Brown want to wait for Bronny or go to a team where Bronny could go. I don't see any difference from him wanting to do that, and except for, of course, he's not actually playing with his pops. He'll be playing, in his pops jersey. I mean, he already played. Steph already played with his son, so he might as well go play in his pops jersey.
that just went over a lot of people's heads. Oh my god, that was good. Speaking, go ahead, Dub.
Somebody said, "Do y'all consider Blake Griffin a bust?" I don't know how he can ever be classified as a bust.
Hell nah.
Not a bust. I think that his demise just came on sooner than anyone would have predicted.
Still not.
That's
a
what
bust.
happens though with like those athletic players.
Yeah, not a
His
bust.
demise came 10 years after he was drafted.
Yeah, like the pretty.
How
good
long do
career.
you expect him to be around?
Well, when you look at a guy who's like producing at that high of a level as like superstar or borderline superstar, whatever you want to call him, then you think that they're going to be like this for their entire career.
Yeah, not the way Blake played.
Well,
That's what I'm saying though. Dudes that rely on athleticism like that, at the stroke of a second, they can all of a
And
sudden go from being at
that's
the top tier to being a mid-tier player.
what scares me about Ja Morant.
And that's what scares me about Zion Williamson, and he hasn't even peaked yet. So Jesus Christ.
Well,
he
yeah,
ain't
yeah,
even
sure.
got to the level where the demise is going, like crazy.
Exactly.
I mean,
Yeah,
we're
I mean
kind of
more so for Zion than Ja, but
we're kind of low-key seeing it with Russ, and I'm trying to figure out whether it's Russ's athleticism kind of taking a step back, or if it's just strictly the fit on the team.
no, this is a lot different than Blake Griffin. Russell Westbrook's been like that for.
And Russ,
Goddamn.
what year did Russ get drafted again? Like 2009.
The year before.
Eight.
The year
No,
before.
I'm not. I'm talking about
Yeah.
just when being an athletic player, when your game relies solely on athleticism. Once that goes away, how the cliff that you fall off. That's more so what I'm getting at.
Yeah,
Like for instance, once again, Derrick Rose. Yeah, he went through those injuries, but when he came back, he wasn't as athletic as he was. So, his game completely changed. He went from being MVP level, elite dude, top 2-3 point guards in the NBA to now it's like you're coming off the bench.
Hey, did Russ go one and done at UCLA?
Nah, he played two.
I think he was there
Played
too.
two?
Yeah, I
He
think
played
so.
two. He played two for sure.
since we've been talking about Demarcus Cousins a lot, I want to talk about this really quick because Bob Myers went on All the Smoke, and he said Demarcus Cousins called me a month ago, and he said, "Why am I not in the NBA?" Bob Myers apparently responded to him, said, "Because people are afraid of how you're going to act."
That's so stupid.
They got Draymond on the team. What?
I hope that's not the truth. I think it's so stupid. I think the only reason why DeMarcus Cousins isn't in the NBA is like the reason we stated before. A guy who kept getting hurt, who was having some weight issues, and couldn't really lose that weight because of his injuries, especially later on in his career. It's just to have that guy on your team just makes no sense.
Dub,
He's just
it's
gonna be a
no
role
way
player.
DeMarcus can play in the NBA. At that moment in time, DeMarcus could have played in the NBA.
You're not listening.
His weight issues were not that bad. And
No,
I
you're
know
not
he was
listening.
coming off
Play in the NBA.
injury. No, you said weight and injuries, right?
Mm-hmm.
Klay Thompson, every year, numerous people come off ACL injuries. ACL injury is not the same as it was in the 1990s. Dudes bounce back off ACLs every year.
So like you said before, you was talking about athleticism, right? Klay Thompson is a guy where he doesn't really have to rely on his athleticism like that because of his shooting touch.
Yes.
DeMarcus Cousins does not benefit from that. DeMarcus Cousins does rely heavily on his athleticism.
No, he doesn't.
Y'all check the chat. Y'all check the chat because I just thought about that too. Y'all forgot he was on the Nuggets last year and he wasn't playing bad.
Right.
Nah,
That's what I said. He could
Maybe
still
y'all
be in the
forgot
NBA.
about that. DeMarcus should be in the league right now.
DeMarcus, when he was more athletic, he was obviously a night and day type of player. But DeMarcus's game relies a lot on skill. DeMarcus can pass. DeMarcus can dribble. DeMarcus can shoot. DeMarcus, on the real, if we keeping it a whole 1,000, DeMarcus has probably, if he was to play in the NBA right now, he would have top 5 post work in the league.
Nobody's saying he
I don't
can't
know about
play.
that, Ron.
Nobody's saying he
DeMarcus
can't
on the block is nasty.
But
Footwork.
Ron, like this is the point you're missing. Nobody's saying he can't play. Nobody's saying he doesn't have the talent to be in the league. It's just, in my opinion, if you're looking from, I have to hire somebody. I'm not gonna hire somebody that is consistently gonna not be able to perform, especially if he doesn't really bring defense like that as well.
He was performing last year.
But
like
not
how we just
performing
said.
as in not being available. Not being
He was available last year. He played last year. I'm saying DeMarcus could play for the Celtics, the Clippers. Shit,
Nets.
we could use him in sack. The Nets,
Trailblazers would be cool.
But the Blazers, there's an easy 8 teams that would be better teams if they had DeMarcus coming
Bro,
off the bench.
16 minutes a game. That's all you need.
My
That's
thing
it.
though
That's
is
it.
Maybe.
when was DeMarcus just plagued by injuries? He had in Golden State he had 2 injuries.
3-year stretch where he was hurt and he was.
So he
Mars,
tore his
how
ACL.
long- Mars, how long was
for the Pelicans?
how
And
long
then-
was
and then
That was his
twice
Achilles.
away.
That was his
How long-
Achilles at the
How
Pelicans.
long was Boogie signed on the Nuggets last year? And
It was
then
like
this
right
guy
before
just brings
playoffs
up,
going into
this
playoffs,
guy just
wasn't it?
brings up this guy just brings up a stupid point. Dub, Jokic plays no defense. What's your point? Fucking DeMarcus Cousins is not Jokic.
He joined the
doesn't-
Nuggets in February.
In February.
Well, he joined them on 10 days in January, but he joined them officially in February.
And he played for the whole year. for the rest of the season?
Yeah, from January to the end of the season.
And how about the
He
year
play- he
before
play- he
that?
played the
And how
back
about
half
the
of
year?
the season.
And how about the year
So-
before that?
Year before that, he was on the
He
Clippers.
was on the Clippers in Milwaukee.
No, he was on the Bucks. The same year he was on the Nuggets, he just got waived, and then he joined the Nuggets. But he was on, the year before he was on the Clippers.
So Mars, he played pretty much the full season last year. He played with Milwaukee, then went to Denver.
He didn't play a bunch with Milwaukee, but he was on their team at the start of the year. They waived him in January, and then he went to the Nuggets. But he played like 30 games last year. And then the year before, he wasn't picked up until he was on the Rockets. Then the Rockets waived him, and then he went to the Clippers.
Okay, so my thing is that he doesn't. I'm not saying that
The
DeMarcus
Rockets
should come out and be
played
a. He's got to come out and be an all-star. He doesn't have to come out and be an all-star. He just got to come out and play 15, 16 minutes a game.
And my point is that a guy who's older in age, a guy who does have injury issues, and the guy who really the only thing that he provides is mainly on the offensive end. I don't see how a team would sit here and look to try to sign that on their team, have them a part of that. Is he a good offensive player, especially being on the bench? Sure, he could do that, but I don't think a team would just risk having that on their team, especially if the guy's just always injury prone.
What do they got to lose by signing a vet
It's
minimum?
just it's just not a necessity. Why would you get something if it's not a necessity? Just to have there?
DeMarcus coming off the bench is a necessity. Or he's not a necessity, but he's a plus. Yo, even with the Miami Heat,
not on defense.
He's better than DeAndre Jordan. I do think it's some like political.
Yeah, the Heat got Deadman. What's his name? Yeah, the Heat got that. What's his name?
Mars. For sure.
That
There's
not
for
that bad.
sure a reason that he's out that has nothing to do with his ability.
Exactly.
That's what.
And it's
that's
a
what it
stigma.
is.
It's a stigma too. That's the thing is that it's like he's
And-
out when he has the ability to play, and he has this gray cloud looming over his head for whatever reason.
And we know it happens because Melo's not on the team either. They trying to blackball him.
They blackballing the
three
hell out
different
of
times.
Melo.
Like
They're
three different
blackballing the
times.
hell out of Melo right now. I agree with Melo. Boogie is like, I kind of.
I think you really sleep on how good DeMarcus Cousins really is. And
I'm not
here's another
sleeping
thing
on
about DeMarcus too, is as a big man, as a center, DeMarcus is one of the better stretch centers in it. He doesn't just have to play in the post. DeMarcus will clap that three.
Ron, when did I say that Boogie can't play? When did I say that he's not good?
You never really said that, but you're kind of alluding to you don't need him. You're kind of alluding to these teams don't. He won't help these teams. So
why did I say that they didn't? They didn't.
You're saying that because you're saying that he's injury riddled and that if
exactly.
he comes, but I don't think it's just like you can't predict that though. I don't.
If
like,
I have a guy who has a history of being injury prone,
what's his history though? His history, like, yes, he has some injuries. He does, but he doesn't just get injured every single year.
He tore his ACL on the Golden State Warriors.
And then he tore his Achilles on the Pelicans. That's 2 years.
And then every year after that, and the Achilles and the ACL are career-ending injuries. Every other year, besides the Nuggets, he did play 31 games with the Nuggets. Okay, that's great. But every other time, he hasn't played a full season at all. Is that because of injuries? Maybe not. Is that because he couldn't stay on the court because he does get gassed? That could be a possibility as well. Me personally, I just don't see why a team would just sit here and have a guy who just can't be on the court.
I suppose.
How about a little tea for you?
Hey, hold up, JD, because we were talking about Bob Myers, and he also said another quote that I wasn't feeling him with during that interview. He said that he hates when people refer to the Mamba mentality, and he was just like, man, stop. You guys stop using the Mamba mentality. You're just not Kobe. Kobe was different. So he basically was saying, don't use Mamba mentality to compare what you got going on to Kobe.
That's fair, Ron.
No, it's fair, but this is also why it's dumb to me. This is also why it's dumb, because if you're striving to be like Kobe and that helps you to be better, that ups your work ethic, then by all means adopt the Mamba mentality. Like, no, you might not be Kobe. Nobody, it's few people that'd be willing to wake up at 4 a.m. work out twice before actual practice, and then after practice, go work out again. It's few dudes that can do that. But if we're talking about a dude who, let's say he only works out in the summer, he works out once a day. And when he works out, it's a half-ass workout. Let's say he works out 75%. Now, let's say he adopts the Mamba mentality. He like, man, I want to start being more like Kobe. I love what Kobe was talking about. I love what Kobe was preaching. Mamba mentality to the death of me now. So now he starts working out twice a day. And now he's actually working out 100%. By all means, download that Mamba mentality to become the best version of yourself or a better version of yourself.
That's not Mamba shit. That's just working a little harder. That's not Mamba shit. That's like if you're doubling your output, doubling your production, then by all means, if it takes you to download a Mamba mentality to do that, by all means, do that. By all means. Yeah, but my thing is I think what he's talking about is last year. All the Devin Booker and Jason Tatum and what was the other cat? Was it Donovan? They're like, oh, he's got the Mamba mentality going. Like, bro, y'all got to stop that shit. That's not Bean. Like, that's not Bean. You're not Kobe. And it's not Mamba mentality. Mamba mentality is like how you was talking about the other week, blacking out. You can't a two-a-day, bro. Two-a-day isn't excessive. A two-a-day is what athletes do. That's what athletes do. And if you gotta trick yourself that, oh, this is Mamba mentality, that's cool. That's good motivation. But let's call that what it is. That's called hard work. That's not Mamba shit. Like,
most definitely. My thing is like, and I'm not saying like you're gonna be Kobe. I'm not that's not the point I'm trying to make. I'm like, bro, if you're adopting a philosophy to become a better version of yourself, then to me it's a win.
Yeah, you're down. Okay, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. Like, yeah, you can use that for motivation, but we need to stop calling it Mamba mentality because that's not what Mamba mentality is. And we've known that for the past 10 years. That when Kobe got into that, when he went Mamba, when he was on his shit, bro, nobody was doing that except for maybe Jet. Well, I'm not gonna say that nobody was doing because I don't know everybody's work ethic, but I do know that. Like I said, two-a-day workouts for athletes, that's what you're supposed to do. Like, you're supposed to do that.
But a lot of them don't do that.
Okay, well that's so we're not going to give them credit because they were being half-ass athletes, and they need to say that because that's just like what Bob Myers is saying. I don't think Bob Myers was trying to discredit people working harder and wanting to be a better version of themselves. I think what he's saying is just simple facts. Like we're not going to give you no participation trophies around this motherfucker. That's understood. You're not being, and that's not Mamba shit.
That's understood. But I'm saying like if Kobe's Mamba mentality is what is inspiring you. If you're like, oh, I'm trying to download the Mamba mentality, and yeah, I can't do it 100%, but I can do it maybe 60 to 70%, and that makes me better in this offseason and overall better person, a better player, a better everything. Then, bro, like I'm saying, by all means, if that's what it takes to push you over
you're both right.
Download your Mamba mentality.
No, we're not both right, JD. I'm right. He's wrong.
No, you're both right.
It's like how we said when you try to download the Mamba mentality, and it's just like that. It's like, well, I'm not that good on computers. I tried to download some shit the other day. I tried to download it, but it didn't work. You know what I'm saying? I fucked around and got a virus on my shit. It's not Mamba shit, okay? This is not.
So wait, Bob Myers is. Bob Myers, what did he say?
He basically said he was like, I'm tired of people using the phrase Mamba mentality. He basically was just like, you guys aren't fucking Kobe. This dude, what Kobe did was otherworldly. His work ethic was, light years beyond everybody else. So stop even using the phrase Mamba mentality because you guys aren't Kobe.
I agree.
All right, here's a little bit of tea. Gordon Hayward's wife, Robyn, took to social media. So I don't know how close you guys have followed this, but Gordon Hayward was listed out, had a left shoulder contusion is what they listed as. Turns out there's a little bit more going on than what they're reporting. So she posted on her story, she posted the injury report, and then she added text to it, said he actually has a fractured scapula that they had him play with last game. That's why he couldn't move his arm up in the last game. Everyone who knows Gordon knows he has one goal, and that's to win and play the right way. He's the most truthful player / person you'd find. If he's not going to play, it's for something more than a bruise. I'm going to stop there and not get into prior things. But she didn't stop there. She added one more thing to her story. She said, just to clarify, since the team doesn't say it's a fracture in the shoulder, which is a broken bone, I'm over them not protecting players just was talking with a young player's mom, and she was saying the same thing. So I want to ask you guys, is she dragging this and making this bigger than it is, or is it a big issue that shouldn't be getting overlooked like this when it comes to like players' safety?
That's tough.
Because who has a say in this? Like, I could see where she would be frustrated if they're forcing his hand and telling him like, nah, it's not really as bad as you think. Like, get out there. Or is he like, it just kind of hurts. I could play on it. Like,
I think the NBA does they best to try to limit injuries that happen. But being in a sport like this, you just got to take it. I mean, it's just something that happens. I think a lot of times, especially in just in the medical field in general, there's a lot of people who just aren't well informed or don't really know what the fuck that they're doing. And even though that people do go to school for this, a lot of them still don't know what the hell is going on. So a lot of people are misinformed. I don't think it's neglect. I think it's more a lot of people just don't know what the hell they're doing. And that's why I understand her frustrations, but I can't just be like, oh, these guys just don't care about it. I just think that a lot of people just don't know what the fuck they're doing.
I can see this. Just hold on. Sorry, Bobby. Just like basketball said, they're trying to keep that quiet so we can have some trade value. I could definitely see that, which is nasty.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Bob.
Remember when Andre Iguodala did that interview and kind of blasted the Warriors medical staff for trying to pretty much forcing KD out there when he wasn't ready, and then they shipped him out the next week. So we know that's a real thing. It happens. I mean, it happens in college, all levels, but I mean it's obviously much bigger in NBA because there's so much money on him. But yeah, they do.
I don't think that applies. I don't think that applies to like this particular situation though.
Well, I mean, like old boy said, they're trying to JD, whoever you read said that they're trying to keep him good for the trade value. I mean, it might not be the same alternative. They were trying to have him play to win. He's trying to have him play to be traded, but I think it happens a lot.
Wouldn't that hurt his trade value if he's playing hurt, so that he's going to be playing like ass?
I mean,
would you rather see him out on the floor or before the trade deadline, you know that he's hurt?
I see that point, but I don't know. I think it's a weird scenario. I'm not gonna lie.
It is a weird scenario. I don't know if you guys saw this. This was like 5 minutes ago, though. But someone said that there's not 20 centers better than Demarcus Cousins, and I don't know if they were referring to all time. If they were talking, they're saying all time.
Yeah.
You want to name them? I think
he was asking for names.
I'm assuming the only way you say that is if you're on the evolution train.
So like, relative to era like
Russell and stuff, then we're like, well, Boogie's better. Like based on that, that's the only way.
I think Boogie's better. Yeah. Like Nate Thurman will probably be in there over him too. A lot of older guys.
Bob McAdoo, Willis Reed,
Bill Walton.
Moses Malone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that like there's all time. There's clearly 20, but if you're going the evolution way, which is like players today are just better than players from like 4 years ago, and just saying Boogie's better than everyone from the 80s, then sure, I just don't agree with you.
You guys not messing with the mustache?
I didn't notice it until just now.
Oh, wow, that's pretty impressive. Almost 2.5 hours up here.
I'm not gonna lie. I always hated people who wear mustaches. Nothing else.
I don't wear mustaches.
I think it's just such a weird, nasty look.
Oh my god,
so
my fiance likes it, so I shaved it to a mustache for her.
I don't like the mustache train. If you had some like maybe a chin strap or something, I would like it even more. But you don't. Do you when you drink milk? When you drink milk, does white stuff get here?
I don't drink milk.
Oh, so the white stuff is something else?
Okay. Leaf sent to Super Chat. Dub. That was crazy. Dub, I saw the battle. Big shout out for name dropping me on Gridiron. Quick question. Do y'all value playoff averages or series averages? I will address Zion and Clay disrespect. The Q/Q, I literally had to figure that out right then and there in that moment what that meant. So that was fun.
Yo, Leaf is amazing. Pull up to Open Gym this week, bro. Love Leaf, man. Great guy.
I don't really care about series averages that much because they can be swayed by a big game or a bad game, especially when the series at 4 games. Like if you score 30, 30, 30, and then 10, that means you're averaging 25 for the series, but you were scoring 30 damn near every game. So it's like, I think you have to contextualize what players are doing. Consistency matters, but series averages, the sample size is too small. You don't judge a player in the regular season off a 4-game sample size. So why would you do it in the playoffs? Like the larger sample size is always going to be better to me. Which is
I know why you would do it in the playoffs.
They do that in the regular season all the time, bro. They say, "Oh, this player's been averaging this much in the past 5 games, past 6 games." Especially when the player starts cooking, like if it's a player that usually averages, like 16, 15, and then all of a sudden they're going off for 28s. They always do that just to big it up and make a point. So I don't see nothing wrong with doing it in the playoffs as well.
I don't agree when they do it either way.
You could look at like playoff averages and series averages, but my thing is, what I do if I got to look back on something, I'll always look at the individual games. I'll try to dumb it down to see what they did in the specific quarters. If I do have the benefit of watching the game, then I'll sit here and try to watch the game as well to truly analyze what really happened. But just going off of this guy averaged this much in the playoffs on this efficiency, so that's how good of a player he is, I don't agree with that. A guy in the series, 7 or 6 game series, he averaged this amount of points, and this was his efficiency, so then he's this caliber player. I just don't agree with that way of thinking. James Harden is a perfect example of that. His playoff numbers are a little skewed sometimes because there's games he'll play great, then there's games where he'll play bad. And I just think like going down to the nitty gritty and finding all the small details is what matters.
Fair. Let's take this time to shout out to the Players' Choice YouTube All-Star members. Thank you all for supporting the channel, man. You guys are the GOATs. All the All-Stars: Kelvy, Wes the Poet, Nick T, MC Robinson, Victor Moreno, 40KOW, Steven Castor, Alejandro Rodriguez, KW, Capital Kev, James Goss, 123, Jeffrey Williams II, Sosa Belton, SSJ Gaby, Jolty, Loaded, King J, Brian Fawcett, The Broctopus, iOS Inc., Gideon, Zeke Noel, Dorian Clayton, Rio Maxos, Straightway, George Elder Rufus, and Odd Malik. And shout out Gideon. He is an all-star member on the Players' Choice YouTube channel, but he has also been doing the timestamps on all the videos. I know you guys, when you go and pop into the comments, you guys see that, and then we take that, we put that in the description. But Gideon is a GOAT, man. He does that on his own time. Just, I mean, I don't know what to say. GOAT status. GOAT status, boat status.
Go Gideon. You always appreciate it, brother. Never forget.
Go Gideon. Do you guys have any agendas to push today?
I would like to what's it called? My agenda is going to be the same one that's going to be for a few weeks.
Donovan Mitchell?
No, the robbery that just happened on Black Friday.
Okay.
Clear robbery. It was clear robbery.
All right.
I'm always going to be pushing that. I'm mad that now you're just going to inflate this man's ego off of that, and now I'm going to have to hear him think that he won when he really didn't say anything.
Dub, I promise you, it actually wouldn't be a thing if you didn't talk about it. So you're actually going to make him talk about it because he knows that it's going to bother you. So you gave him that power.
It's cool.
It's cool. Mars, do you have any?
Not really. Anfernee Davis is top 10 player in the world. James Wiseman for Jared Vanderbilt. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yao Ming's overrated. Bobby, what were you gonna say?
I was gonna ask Dub if he was gonna call for a rematch or if he's just off it.
I have to win the chat's graces first. When I win the chat's graces, then I'll do a rematch. But right now in this type of bias setting, I think any match that I'll be in will probably result in an L. So it is what it is. I need to win their graces first.
We should make it so only like the YouTube members can vote or something.
A lot of YouTube members are biased too.
Elder Rufus, it's funny because he popped in late today, but we did talk about this. He said, "I'm waiting on the video apologizing for me for the debacle that took place on Black Friday."
That was so wrong.
Yo, Bobby called out LeBron for you today, Elder Rufus. So
y'all did Bobby. No, y'all did Rufus really dirty.
Dirty.
That was so bad.
For sure.
When's the next? No, go ahead, Jody.
Because after their battle, I had thought that I saw Chill 1-2-1, like, because I kind of was peeking, right? And when Ron came in and said Elder Rufus, I was like, oh, I misread that. Like, I read that all wrong. Dope. Like, good work. And then they're going into it. And then Ron disappears and then comes back. I was like, oh no. That was bad. That was so bad. All right. What's going on? We'll get to that stuff next show. Again, if you have not already, make sure you check out the LUCRA app. We got the link pinned to the top of the chat. It's also in the description below. Use code Players Choice. Dub, do you have any final words? That's it. Mars, any final words?
Bobby, get your fucking hand up. All right, I'm with
Okay,
that. I'm with
fair,
that. I'm
that's
with
fair.
that. I like the big ox shit.
That's fair.
No final words. Warriors in 6.
Bobby.
Yeah, y'all stop looking up the people that look down on you.
Bobby with the wise words. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, do other things, man. We appreciate y'all, and we'll catch you next episode. Peace out.